Hello, hello. Welcome to a very different and special live podcast recording, something that we haven't done before. So this is different for me.
Different for me too, because whatever Nick does, I do for the podcast. So nothing special here.
I thought it would be an interesting, or at the very least, a good idea to try and, if we're going to record our podcast anyway, we might as well be streaming it. Otherwise, we're doing double the work, because then I'll go and I'll film separately like a highlight video, but now I don't need to go and do that. Now I can just take a clip of this, or edit this down, from a 30 minute episode to a 10-minute highlight episode, and Lauren gets to be in it too, so that's
Yay.
nice.
When I feel like it.
Well, now
when
you
I
don't,
can.
now you don't need to worry, because you're in it, so you don't have to be there for a separate recording.
Yes, I just, a little bogged down with grading, so sometimes it's hard to carve out the time.
Well, this is why we're doing, which we're doubling down on content like this. Instead of doing things twice, let's just do it once, right? Let's just do it once.
Efficiency is the name of the game.
Now, Lauren has a hard stop in 2 hours roughly, so that's what today's stream is gonna be. And depending on how it goes, maybe we do something else. Maybe maybe I'll play a game or something while she's grading. I don't know.
So exciting! Can't wait to grade from 8 to 9. Life of a teacher.
Is that the time you set aside for yourself? 8 to 9?
Yes, and then I'm going to watch an episode of Chernobyl, whether you're there or not.
I was gonna read. I only have 60 more pages of the first Witcher book, so I did kind of want to read that.
Well, I did kind of want to watch Chernobyl.
You
read last night, and we didn't watch it last night.
I get one night a week to read.
That's it. You are not allowed to read more than one night a week, mister.
Who taught you how to read?
We don't want no brainiacs in this house.
Yeah, that's kind of like the vibe I'm getting from you. Is you don't want me to be educated.
Definitely not. Can't have too much of that. Run around. No, but you've been reading every night, and I think that's fair. I need my cool down time.
Oh, okay. I won't read, and I will stay stupid.
Good. Very good.
It feels, no, you can't see it. Oh, you can if you have the stream up, but it feels weird to look at you through a computer screen.
It's like Inception.
Because Lauren, she's only she's right here. She's not even 2 feet away from me. But to be looking at her through a screen, I can't really see her out of my peripheral vision. So it's almost like, and I have these headphones on, so I'm getting audio monitoring, and it feels like you are elsewhere.
I know. That does get the feel that I'm possibly in a separate room.
But you're not. You can punch me if you chose.
Oh, you can't even see. Can't even reach that far.
Yeah, you'd have to reach. But yeah, so this is part of the reason I want to do this is simply because it's like Lauren said, it's more time efficient, more, we're going to do it. We might as well do it correctly or do it right. And on Thursday is our 1 year anniversary, I guess. We released our first 3 episodes. We released 3 episodes at once on December 10th, 2019. And boy, was that a year to start a podcast.
Yeah. I mean, to start a science misconceptions podcast, it was perfect timing.
Yeah, I mean, in the past year, there has been, name it, what have we had in the past year? Pandemic aside, right? I feel like there's already what are they called? Murder hornets, plastic bag bans.
Did you say myrtle hornets?
Murder? Did I say myrtle? I
don't know like you said myrtle, like the block right next to it.
Myrtle's pretty horny, I guess.
Wasn't there in Harry Potter? Wasn't there Moaning Myrtle?
Yes, there was.
Which I always thought was kind of a bit of a weird name for a largely kids movie.
Yeah, I don't.
Wasn't a fan.
No, so you weren't a fan.
No.
But she wasn't
of the name.
She wasn't moaning like sexually.
No,
she was like moaning like a ghost would. Like,
I know, but like,
which is more like groaning.
Yeah, groaning Myrtle should have been.
That doesn't have the same ring to it. Moaning Myrtle just isn't like that. Like, you remember that fucking name.
Well, yeah, it's haunted me like 10 years later or whatever. 15 years later.
Is that all it's been? 10 years? I feel like Harry Potter's been out since the inception of time.
I think it started when we were in middle school.
I think so too. Which we're 30. So how old are you in middle school? 10? 12?
Yeah, you start high school around like 14.
Okay, so you're like 10. So we were somewhere between 10 and 11 when Harry Potter came out. Probably
almost more like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Gross.
That feels more like it.
I just banged it. So grossed out by that.
You could tell that we've grown as podcasters professionally in the past year because we still like hit our mics and Lauren likes to fucking Billy Goat bash hers.
I know.
Just full
throttle. Wait, but what were we saying before this? Before I got off on this Harry Potter tangent.
I don't even know. Moaning
Myrtle distracted me.
Moaning Myrtle's all I can think about now.
Oh, you were talking about everything that's happened this year between like the murder hornets, not Myrtle hornets.
Yeah, not horny myrtles. That's how it came up. Horny Myrtle.
Flat Earth was a little active earlier in the year. Haven't heard from them in a while. See what they're up to.
Anti-vax is...
It is their time to shine right now. Vaxxers.
I mean, that paints it in like a semi-positive light. Like anti-vaxxers have a lot to go with right now.
Okay, maybe not time to shine, but they certainly have a lot to say right now.
Yeah, well, that's totally different. We have a lot to say. No one gives a shit about what we have to say. But, yeah, I mean, what else? There's all the climate change, different... what has happened? How many major named storms? I think I was listening to a podcast recently. They were saying that it was a record-breaking year for named storms. All the different wildfires across the globe. I mean, there's been in the past year that we've started this podcast, so many things have happened, and I feel like an idiot for not knowing more of them. Because most of my knowledge and most of the stuff we've discussed and researched over the past year has been pandemic related, unfortunately. Everything from vaccines and mRNA and how does the virus transmit and why masks work and all this kind of stuff.
It was our heavy focus this year.
I mean,
I'm like, what are we gonna do year 2?
Yeah, year 2 we're gonna have nothing. I don't even think we're gonna go on to a year 2.
So on Thursday will be the last and final episode.
Yeah, no, I do want to do on Thursday we normally stream, and I want to do something special on Thursday. I don't know what though, and I have like a day and a half to figure it out.
Yeah, you gotta let me know.
I think we're gonna do a cooking stream. Maybe I'll bake a cake.
For our 1 year.
Yeah, I'll bake a
birthday?
cake in the shape of a 1. Do be like a traditional birthday cake.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, and we'll reminisce and talk about what we've learned in the past year. What I've learned in the past year. I don't know how much you've learned about podcasting and content creation because, oh my God, it is so much. And if it's something you're doing, then you know what I'm talking about. And if it's something that you are looking to get into, we have a couple of YouTube videos. I want to remake them because my editing has gotten a lot better and our camera quality has gotten a lot better. So I think I want to remake the series that I started of like things I wish I knew about podcasting before I podcasted. Also, I got to workshop that name. Yeah. That name is
things I knew about podcasting before I started podcasting. No,
things I wish I knew.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Things I wish I knew before I started a podcast.
Whatever. Think about it. Sleep on
it. I am not good at naming shit, as you can tell by our name, Just Nas Science. Not exactly the most SEO friendly name, and that's like the first.
Yeah, but you were like advice. Really into that name.
I do. Well,
and you thought of the name for a good 10 minutes. Okay, you're like, this is it, and I was like, I feel like we should spend more time on the name.
Okay, in my defense, at the time I knew nothing about SEO. I knew nothing about search engines, and I just thought it was a clever name, right? And I thought like, oh, science people will appreciate that. And let me tell you, they don't.
I think it's a little.
Don't.
The meaning is a little bit more hidden than we'd like.
Yeah.
And so if you don't know, our catchphrase is that we get salty about bad science, and Na is the periodic symbol for sodium, salt, getting salty.
You can see it on Lauren's shirt.
Oh yeah. Just nah, sorry.
So the nah is, double meaning, like, nah, that's not right. And, salt, sodium, getting, like, to get angry. So we get angry about, or we get salty about bad science.
Yeah. It was like Thanksgiving last year, and we told our families, like, hey, we're thinking about starting a podcast. And then December 10th, like, 2 weeks later, we did our first couple of episodes. Like, we bought all this stuff. We named it. We really probably could have used a little bit more preparation time.
No. In hindsight, I absolutely needed, not could have, not should have, needed.
Yeah, when Nick gets caught on an idea and he gets really into it, he has to start immediately.
Listen,
has to start running with it. It's not the worst thing. I feel like that too. Like once I'm like have something made up in my mind, like I want to have it done. I want to do it, accomplish it, and be,
Well, this isn't something you can like. I'm gonna start a podcast and then I am done.
Yeah, no.
Like I don't. It's.
I bought the domain name. I am finished.
Yeah.
No, I know that's not the goal here, but I understand being like results driven person. You want to start seeing results like pretty soon.
Yeah,
I get that.
But unfortunately, with podcasting especially, you don't see results right away.
It's hard.
And most 50% of all podcasts that are started end before 7 episodes. Like, that's nothing. That's less than 3 months.
Yeah, they give up really fast. And then of those that lasted, only 50% make it to 25 episodes, right?
Yeah.
What do they say about podcasts that last a year?
Well, supposedly, from what I've read, in the year to year and a half mark is when podcasts start to see like some bigger growth. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, we're about 15 minutes in, and I want to do our podcast episode. This way you can hear the information, and maybe you have some questions or comments that you want to give, and we'll see what it's about. So
see where it takes us.
I'm going to start recording, and we're gonna kill the music, and we are going to
silence chat as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute the alerts. So alerts have been muted, and I feel like I should do just a quick test just to be like, yeah, that's not okay. Now it's muted.
Seems like the opposite of muted.
Yeah, it definitely is. But let me bring this alert box up a little. It was a little low for my liking. Okay, now it's in the spot I like it, and it's muted, so you'll still see the notifications. So what's gonna happen is we're gonna do our episode. Episodes are about 20 to 30 minutes, and then after that, we're gonna open it up for just free discussion. Ask whatever questions you like. Hopefully, we have an answer, and otherwise, just chill and talk.
I gotta get my announcer voice ready.
We obviously won't be able to answer chat during the episode, but I will be keeping an eye on it, and I'll be keeping an eye on any notifications. So if we miss one while we're recording, I apologize, but it's just the way it goes.
It's the way the cookie crumbles.
Okay, well, we are recording on Streamlabs. We're not recording on Audacity just yet. I'll wait for that until you're ready to go. Audacity is our recording software of choice for the podcast. It's a very simple, easy to use, and mostly free recording platform. And you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. We are recording our episode.
Today, we're going to talk about my uncle's favorite conspiracy theory, chemtrails. There are Oh my God.
Well, all right.
Oh God.
You can really see the professionalism.
All right, start over. Here we go. So today we're going to talk about my uncle's favorite conspiracy theory, chemtrails. So these are the white cloud-like lines left behind from airplanes, and they are pretty much the star of conspiracy theories, since they are crux for several of them. Hello everybody, and welcome to Just Nah Science Podcast. Each episode we debunk ridiculous yet common science misconceptions we find online and get just a little salty about them. I'm your favorite science teacher, Lauren.
And I am the world's greatest neuroscientist, Nick. Before we get started, yeah, I know, it's the
Wish
hubris.
You didn't say that.
Before we get started, we would really appreciate you subscribing and leaving a thumbs up on this episode. Positive ratings and shares, things like that, 5-star reviews on Apple, CastBox, whatever you're listening to, help us tremendously. So if you want to support our show and you want to do it super easy and most of all free, then leaving a positive rating is the best way to do it. And we thank you very much.
So it won't take long on social media to find someone talking about the hazards of chemtrails. I've seen people posting pictures of the sky with crisscross patterns, with some comments about the government is poisoning us and turning our sky into a gas chamber. If you think that's extreme, welcome to the world of conspiracy theories. I'm glad you can join us.
Yeah, and there's punch and chips in the back if you're new here.
I was like, wait,
stupid.
where's he going with it?
that was so stupid. I'm
like
sorry.
that, actually.
So first, let's answer the question: what is a chemtrail? Lauren kind of answered that already in the intro. But if you look up at the sky, you'll see planes passing by, most likely. And as planes pass by, it creates lines trailing the plane, like these white smoke trails almost. Mm-hmm. Some people believe these lines are byproducts of a passing plane, and some people believe these aren't lines. God damn it, I am having trouble reading. Some people believe these lines are not simple byproducts of a plane passing by, but have a more sinister purpose.
Yeah, some speculate that they are for mind control, population control, and weather modification. So there are some individuals who believe that the government is spraying chemicals to block heat and harmful radiation from the sun to combat climate change. And this is called geochemical modification, also known as albedo modifications.
Which I think is interesting that people think the government would do something like this for a noble cause, but most of the time the reasons are mostly nefarious, and these conspiracies of people trying to be exposed to these chemicals, or people think that the government exposing people to these chemtrails is done as part of a secret project by the government or some other global entity.
The Illuminati.
Like the Illuminati, for sure. I'm sure that's someone thinks that. But what is supposedly in these chemicals, or in these chemtrails rather, that make them harmful?
Or that potentially do, right? We're not saying these chemtrails are real.
Well, that's why I said what's supposedly in these. And answers will, of course, vary, but it's often things like aluminum and barium, other metals, and things that you see people who are very health conscious or worried about taking up metals from things like deodorant. These are really common targets for people to be like, it's poison. And like, I'm not going to put aluminum under my armpits. I'm going to use a natural deodorant. That doesn't work.
I've tried so many
they
natural
don't,
ones, and you stink after 5 minutes.
Listen,
I'm sorry.
I love you guys. If you're listening, I love you and I appreciate you. But if you're using natural deodorant, you got to put it on every hour. Like, that's just how you're going to be buying so much deodorant.
I know. Listen, I get it. I've tried many. I want them to work. No one's cracked the code yet. But anyway, so what separates a chemtrail from normal plane emissions? So if the line produced by the plane stays around for too long and forms what's called a cirrus cloud, which are those like flat clouds that have long, wispy kind of strands, well, those are chemtrails. Right?
That's what people say are chemtrails. And it's important to know that we don't... I'm going to get to that later. I'm going to edit that out. So what made people even start to believe in chemtrails? It started in the mid 1990s. In 1996, the U.S. Air Force published a hypothetical paper on using aircraft spraying for tactical advantages. Since then, woke individuals have been alarmed and almost like empowered in a way by chemtrails. Though to date, there has not been any significant paper or testing done that was ever published by the government or some other scientist or group. And I know what you're going to say. If you're a believer in chemtrails, it's classified information. They're not going to tell us if they're doing it or whatever. But the question is, why would the government want to do this to begin with?
So we've mentioned some reasons earlier, but some people speculate that it's weather modification to force crop failures, which would then influence the stock market. So this is a really bold claim because agriculture isn't just any part of the stock market, right? It's a fundamental building block. So changing the price of commodities like crops can have effects on the stock market and consumer pricing. And that's all we'll really say on the financial aspect, since we are not stockbrokers or stock market experts by any means. But some individuals truly think that we'll have to grow all of our own crops in like underground tunnels.
I'm sure that if you just heard that, you can see some of the potential problems with growing crops underground, like irrigation, soil, light, proper oxygen levels. But for some reason, they think that it's a viable option, and maybe to a small degree it is. But you know how much agriculture space there is? Most of the agriculture in America is to feed cattle or feed livestock. You're not going to put all of that underground. I can guarantee
it.
It's
way too much energy to create that system. Who's digging all these tunnels?
Yeah.
Right? The amount of energy we need to do that digging, to put the light, like get special lights underground to run the electricity on, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, it's so much crazy.
Infrastructure goes into that.
And I never really understood the mind control and sterilization aspects. If there's mind control substances in the air that we breathe all the time because of, planes are passing by all the time, it sure as hell isn't working. No. Do you think that Trump, of all people, if he had the ability to control people's minds, you don't think he'd do it?
And then he'd be reelected.
Yeah, exactly. Even if you're a Trump supporter, you got to admit that he would definitely be trying to control people's minds. And again, the population control thing doesn't make sense. We've talked about this before on previous episodes. But if the government wanted to curb the population to conserve resources and reduce the burden on the planet, why aren't there bigger government efforts to reduce impacts by climate change? Why are so many politicians pro-life? These completely contradict the population control theory, because the government's not doing anything to control the population.
Right.
If anything, all you see are shows like 19 and Counting and stuff like that.
They really encourage you.
Yeah.
Have exponential growth of your own genes. Oh my God, those people are crazy.
No, listen, you want a big family, that's your priority. 19 is a lot, though.
They just start walking out by the end.
Well, no, that's not nice.
When you have like up to 3 kids, it's such a faster delivery. Really, my aunt was telling me 3 kids. She's like, the 3rd one, they just slide right out.
Okay, that's anecdotal evidence at best, and also it's still not nice to say.
Just saying, it gets a lot easier.
Okay, move on.
All right, so let's not forget the fact that a government gets money through taxes as well. So if there's less people from population control, there's fewer people to pay taxes. So why would the government want that? It's kind of a load of shit. So but hear me on this. I was thinking this. Maybe people are saying, when they say population control, maybe they really mean like mind control.
But again, obviously that
controlling the population through the mind.
Right. I go an unseen puppet master, I guess.
Yes.
But it doesn't. Listen, it's not working. It truly isn't. Right? Because the country is incredibly divided on most, policies or most aspects of life or whatever, laws and anything. So what's going to be like what's the argument that it only works on half the people? It only works if you let it. It only works on people of above or below a certain intelligence or demographic. Like, you can break this down in so many different ways that it just is not feasible.
Just like all the ballots were fraudulent, but all the other elections that occurred on that ballot, nobody's contesting those, only the presidential one. But they all came from the same ballot.
Yeah, and listen,
doesn't make sense.
This is not the time to be talking about the election, but yeah, there's a lot of issues with it. Also, like, show proof, right? But anyway, with all this said, you would think that there probably isn't a lot of people who believe in chemtrails, right? Well, according to a survey from 2016, 30 to 40% of Americans are believers in chemtrails. 30 to 40%. And I don't know how much, like, to what degree, this survey said are believers. Do they believe it a little bit, or do they think it's happening? I don't really know. But even if it's 30 to 40% think that chemtrails are a possibility, that's still so many.
It's way too many.
And if you're wondering, why are there so many people who believe this, I will bet, whatever you want to bet, that it is directly linked to things like Facebook groups or Facebook in general. And I barely use Facebook for anything, even the podcast. So if you follow us on Facebook, I'm sorry, follow us on Twitter. But there have been a few articles posted by different media outlets, and you can find the links to those and every other source we use on our website in the show notes. And they talk to individuals who were convinced that chemtrails are real by Facebook posts or by Facebook groups. These are people who didn't even know chemtrails existed, or maybe didn't believe in them to begin with. And then they spend a decent amount of time on Facebook where there's,
going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, there's just, incredibly educational and scientific ideas being exchanged there. So
I'm pretty sure, I want to say I recently read an article that they think the majority of misinformation and misconceptions like chemtrails come mainly from just Facebook.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it totally. And
it's weird because it's like, who's mainly using Facebook?
Well, listen, let's not start to point fingers like that until we have better data. Then we can get our pitchforks. But
like my mom. That's what I'm getting at.
But one of the articles I was reading and doing research for this was a woman, and she's very concerned about the environment, which is great, right? It's great to be interested in the environment, making sure that your grandkids or your children have a future on the planet. Incredible. And she voted for Trump because she saw a fake tweet saying that Trump was going to end chemtrails. Meanwhile, that was never said. It was a fake tweet. And when she was told that it was fake, she's like, well, how am I supposed to know? She's like, I'm not trained in identifying credible sources and stuff. I'm a 60-year-old woman. I just see it and I think, oh wow. And it's like, damn, but like, I don't even know where I'm going with this. Really, it's incredible to see, or to think that people can see something
and base like what I would think is a pretty big decision, voting for our president, off of just that, without having any other thing to back it up.
And also, like, to think that chemtrails are a thing without doing any sort of, even just a simple Google search, right? Like, you don't have to do crazy
Actual
investigative research and looking at peer-reviewed studies. For some things you do, but for a quick question like, are chemtrails real? You can probably answer the question with a Google search.
So what really are those lines in the sky from planes? Well, those lines are actually called condensation trails, or contrails. So they're formed when hot plane exhaust fumes basically condenses into ice crystals in the cold, dry, high altitude air. Very high up there, it's very cold. So this is basically, you're almost watching dew point happen in real time. All right, so because dew point is the temperature that the air, or in this case, the plane's exhaust, would need to be cooled down to in order for the water vapor within the air to condense changing from a gas to a liquid. So you're seeing that literally happen. And when this happens, the air is saturated, reaches what's called max capacity, and clouds, fog, or dew can start forming.
It's the same reason why when it's cold, you can see your breath. It's the same principles being applied, but on an individual scale and something that you can see with your own eyes.
So depending on atmospheric conditions, they can stay thin lines that evaporate quickly, or they could spread out over a longer period of time and turn into those cirrus clouds that we mentioned earlier. I won't bore you with the different conditions that are responsible for changing patterns of chemtrails, contrails. Caught myself there. But I'm sure there's a YouTube video explaining it if you are interested.
There are a ton of articles that promote chemtrails as fact, and they talk about, quote, people not seeing the patterns in the skies when they were kids growing up in the 60s and 70s. And here are just 3 issues I have with that type of claim.
Just 3.
Just 3. We'll keep it simple. 1, planes are not the same now as they were in the 60s and 70s.
True.
2, flight patterns are not the same. There are more routes, more destinations, and more planes in the sky.
True.
3, if an individual makes this claim, it is anecdotal evidence at best. And even if someone did look at historic flight data, just see points 1 and 2. Also, what kind of kid is really taking note of these kind of things? Like, who's looking up at the sky and being like, today there are very few lines in the sky. What the hell is this? There are 3 streaks in the sky now, and they have not dissipated after 4. I'm timing it. It is 4 minutes and 44 seconds. Like, no one's doing that.
No kid is doing that whatsoever, unless you are a prodigy in aviation and plan on becoming a pilot at age 10. You're not doing that. I'm sorry.
Don't put me on a plane with a kid who's the pilot is age 10.
He's a prodigy.
I don't care. You need to be a little grizzled for me to get on that plane. Anyway,
little grizzled.
It's this idea that, like, when you look back on the 60s and 70s, if you were a child then, when you think about, like, going outside and playing and stuff.
Contrails are really at the center of your memory.
Yeah, like, when you think about, like, a beautiful day, no one pictures it with clouds. Like, you picture it as a nice bright blue sky. It was a beautiful day. There wasn't a cloud in sight. That's how people are going to remember it, with rose-tinted glasses. It's nostalgia. So it's going to make, even if there weren't as many, again, I can't stress this enough, there are just a lot more planes right now. And so, yeah, you'll probably see more lines and more contrails than you would have in the 60s and 70s just from that alone. And, again, I read a lot of these articles, and anytime an article starts off with, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but it's probably not the most reliable source. It's not a reliable sauce either.
Definitely not a reliable sauce.
If the author feels obligated to defend their credibility by stating that they're not a conspiracy theorist at the beginning of the article, it's probably not your best source.
It reminds me of people who, again, on Facebook are like, you guys know I never really post anything like this, and then it's like this huge chain thing. I'm like, you post like things like this all the time. What are you talking about? You made this chain post, actually.
Most of the time it's not even like it's just not even their post. It's just like one of those copy pastas.
Copy pastas?
Yeah, that you don't know what copy pasta is?
No, I've never heard that term in my life.
Okay. Copy pasta is basically a slang copy paste.
I thought just because you had just said sauce, I'm thinking of pasta and sauce.
No, that's way too clever for me.
Copy pasta. Holy shit. My world has been busted wide open.
Copy pasta is a real thing. I promise you.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely Googling that right after this. But I did, being that my background is really in environmental science, I wanted to put this side note in here. So it is important to mention, though, that contrails or condensation trails do have a negative impact on the environment in the terms of like climate change and emissions. So air travel is a big and one of the biggest contributors to climate change by releasing carbon dioxide emissions, and by those cirrus clouds formed by contrails, they actually are really good at trapping heat. So over time, there's like this compound effect of all these planes. Like you think, oh, well, just a little streak in the sky. It's one plane. But really, over the hours, the thousands and thousands of planes that take off and land every day, this warms the Earth's surface below. And so we've talked about ways to reduce, your carbon footprint in our closed donation episode, which was season 1, episode 50. So if you want to learn more about that, definitely check out that episode.
Yeah, it's important to know that, yes, planes do have a role in our environment, and it's not a great one, but it's not for the reasons that people think. It's not chemtrails, it's not population controls or killing off crops,
but people will believe that, but not believe that like it releases CO2 emissions or that climate change is real. That's what boggles my mind.
Yeah, I can't speak to that. Unfortunately, I don't know. What I will say, though, is I don't want to guarantee it, right? I'm hoping that after listening to this episode, maybe you'll be a little bit more skeptical. Skeptical. Maybe you'll be a little more skeptical about contrails or chemtrails, and you'll question some things you see. One of the things that I've seen people say was like, well, I've seen pictures of planes with no pilots, and it's just a big tank in the pilot seat or in the cockpit, and it's just spraying chemicals. And it's like, no, it's a water barrel. It's a weight that they use to see how much like flight dynamics and stuff, because that's what they use to as counterweights or like weights for planes, is just water barrels.
If you're a pilot, please contact us.
I listen.
Tell us more about this.
I'm sure they could use other things for like test flights and stuff like that, and logistics and all that.
They should put a really heavy dummy in there, putting the middle finger up, so that when people take pictures of this, it's like, fuck you. I'm a dummy. I'm not a freaking chemical vat spraying.
That would be very, like, you just see, but you got to put a gas mask on them.
So all your Facebookers who zoom in with their cameras are like, oh, we got them now. What the hell is that?
I think it would be great if you did put a dummy with like a gas mask and be like, stay inside tonight, like a little sign.
God. No, please, people.
No, don't do that. And not that like someone who like, you think someone from Delta is gonna be listening to this, I'm like, oh, it's a pretty good idea. We should, like, no, they're not gonna. No one's gonna do that. No one from the Department of Defense is like, yeah, let's fuck with the civilians. But I do think that's going to do it for us today. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and especially share it. It takes literal seconds to hit subscribe and click the 5-star review button, and it would mean a whole lot to us. Positive ratings and shares on social media are the biggest ways you can help us spread this good science to even more people. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Just Nat Science. You can also visit our website, justnatscience.com, where you can watch YouTube videos, read blog posts, or submit questions and suggest topics for future episodes. Lauren's laughing because you can hear the dog running in the background.
Don't forget, guys, we put out new episodes every Tuesday. And as always, thanks for listening.
Later, nerds.
Later, gators.
The fuck is that dog?
It sounds like a horn.
It sounds angry. Oh, he's angry.
And I first started laughing because I couldn't help but to think every time we mentioned Delta Airlines of John Mulvaney's bit where they're like, we're going to frame you for murder.
We took off while you were in the bathroom. Why would you do such a thing? Yeah, it's a pretty good. John Mulaney is really fucking funny. I'm just saving this file.
And, hey, Sass. It's so good to see you. Sorry we couldn't interact with you a little bit more, but couldn't help the eyebrow comment. Oh, my God. Yeah, Nick's eyebrows are on fleek for sure.
Sass, what is up? Thank you so much. Let me turn this recording button off so people know that we're free to talk. So yes, we got about an hour or so left on this stream. I hope you enjoyed listening to the podcast episode. That'll be up tomorrow at 9 a.m. But yeah, it's just during the actual podcast recording, it'll be too much editing for me to stop, interact with chat, and then all that kind of stuff.
It was really hard for me. Like, I wanted to look at my camera and like look at chat and feel like I'm interacting with them, but also then I would like lose my place.
Yeah,
in
no,
our notes.
I know. I'm
Um,
the same thing. Let's get this music back on.
yeah, it's really interesting to kind of, I find conspiracy theories pretty fascinating. Like, not necessarily like the believing in them, but understanding where they originated from, why people believe them. I think that's really fascinating. Kind of like the, sociology aspect of it. We have yet to crack the code on that. But we did talk with
Edomar.
Idamar Shat back over the summer, I think. And
Yeah,
he kind of talked to us a little bit about like the psychology behind it, why people believe false claims so much and like so vehemently. And it's really hard to change their mind. Like when you try to change their mind, it almost reinforces the false belief.
Yeah, we're
so
not helping actually.
Podcast isn't helpful.
No, we're actually making things worse. So yeah, it's
It's kind of a problem.
yeah, coronavirus, like population control, like releasing coronavirus is, it's just not factual. Like, one, there's no evidence to suggest it, and two, and like, why would that happen? Like, why would someone be like, we're gonna release a virus that will indiscriminately kill people, which could be my family or my friends or myself or colleagues or whoever, like, it doesn't, like, why would you put yourself and other people you care about at risk like that? It's just for what? To kill? How many people have died globally? What is it like?
I'm gonna look it up.
Lauren's gonna look up the global death count for COVID, but let's just say in the U.S., right, 280.
It's over 200,000.
I think it's like 280,000 in the U.S.
So
like,
worldwide deaths right now are over 1.5 million.
so you're about 1.6 million out of 8 billion people. It's not really a lot, right? So like, you're not making the huge impact you think you are with.
Sorry.
No, please kick the shit out of our
I
desk.
banged my knee. Actually, in the U.S., we're actually up to 290,000. Wow.
Yeah, God. You wouldn't put it past people with everything this year. Small price to pay for what they want when they only care about themselves. But what are they getting out of it? What is the? Okay, you wouldn't put it past them. It's a small price to pay to get what they want. But what do they want? Yeah. What do they want? All this has done is hurt businesses. So, and it's costing it's not even like the government will want to do this. This is costing them a shit ton of money.
I know. Government's broke.
Yeah, like state governments have nothing. So that idea that it just doesn't. I can't see a possible. What do you think? Some dude who has investment in like dry ice companies are like, we need to release a virus specifically so we can get sales of dry up ice. Like, you think Democrats did it? Trump's claim to fame is the economy. This destroyed that, and now look. So Trump's claim to fame was the economy, something that's been on the rise for the past 9 years or 8 years, even before he came into office. Also, if you want to look at Trump's business dealings, the number of failed businesses, bankruptcy, lawsuits filed against him, he's not exactly the best business person. He's the best at himself. He's the best for himself. But the number of complaints that people put in of Trump or Trump associates not paying for work, all this kind of stuff. So
yeah, I think his claim to the good economy is a little inflated. Like Nick said, he inherited a good economy that was continually going up. So I think he conflates that a little bit much.
I mean, look, yeah, I'm not saying he doesn't have some successful businesses. He has some, sure, but he's not this omnipotent business person who never fails and it succeeds and excels at every endeavor like he says he does. And also, Democratic states have been hit extremely hard by this. Why would they risk their own people? Why would they spend their own money? And
it's also a worldwide thing. It's not like it's just contained to the U.S.
Yeah, I could see a stronger argument, not very, but a slightly stronger argument for if there was an epidemic or like something like that, where it's just the U.S. or it's it's localized somewhere in the U.S., but it's global. It didn't even the U.S. was one of the later countries to get hit, so that doesn't track. You think they're Democrats specifically? You think he tried to run the deal like run the country like a business? Yeah, and that's not maybe the best way to run a country, right? People aren't businesses. People are people. They need to be treated like individuals. They need to be treated with respect. And you can see how Trump treats businesses and other people. He does not respect them. So I don't necessarily think that a country or a group of people should be run like a business. I mean, a business should be run like a business, and you treat your business differently than you treat your employees.
Yeah,
and
your personal life.
And that's just any good business. Yeah, look at all the countries have been laughing at us for the past 4 years, but not for the reasons you think.
Yeah, I think that's mixed views on that in terms of how other countries perceive us. I don't think they perceive us in a stronger light for the most part.
No, and the countries that do are not the countries you want to be aligned with.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real. What countries respect us? What not great ones. We're locked down on when we used to be a big superpower. Everyone looked up to us. I don't think as many people looked up to us, truthfully. I think a lot of people viewed us as global bullies, if I'm being honest. And, I mean, we put
you do have the American dream, right?
The American dream.
Idea of the American dream.
The idea of an American dream is just that. It's an idea. And the number of people who actually... the number of people who, what's the word I want to use?
Accomplish?
Yeah, capitalize on that American dream are few and far between. I mean, yeah, there are exceptions, and there are people like Jeff Bezos, who is on track to be the first trillionaire. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure, he started with a bookstore in his garage. Like, absolutely. Good for him, but it comes at an expense, and it comes on the backs of your employees.
Yeah, I mean, and that comes with the idea of being a superpower, right? I was just looking at this book in Barnes and Nobles the other day. It was like the hidden American empire. It's, yeah, being a superpower, we do kind of have a bit of an empire, right? We have territories all over the world, and because of that, we do end up putting our foot in a lot of other countries' businesses to protect our assets and resources abroad. It does get us in trouble sometimes, and we get pulled into other countries' affairs a lot because of it. And
I don't necessarily think there's something wrong with being involved in global affairs, right? The world is super interconnected, and I think countries...
One of the founding fathers was like, stay out of other countries' affairs, but it's like really hard to do now in a global world. It's
impossible, but some people don't want globalization. Some people want it to be more independent countries, and yeah, sometimes it's a bit of a stretch. It gets us in trouble more often than we'd probably like. But yeah, in terms of fixing our own problems, I mean, there's a lot of problems, right? We're 30-something in math and science, and we're 15th in English in the world. Like we
have some of the lowest, some of the highest mortality rates for mothers and infants, even amongst like developed countries, which is like crazy to me.
Why hasn't anything been done to China with the virus coming from there? What would you like done? Were you gonna impose tariffs because a virus came from there? I mean, are we gonna nuke them? Like, what's the game plan?
I mean, we're already engaged in basically like a tariff war, trade war with them.
So
I understand what you're saying, though. I do feel like everyone's ego got in the way with COVID, right?
Sure.
China's ego got in the way. They didn't want people to know this was happening because I guess they felt it could make them look weak. But then now look what happens. It really frustrates me. And we're in the middle of watching Chernobyl, and you could just see, like, at least in the series, right, that whole thing was mismanaged from the beginning and became a lot worse because of men's egos. Not just men, but because of people's egos. And I think that's a big problem.
I thought you were posting a link. I actually just gave you permission to post one.
That was an accident.
Yeah, I realized that after. Sorry. I hate when it deletes. I gotta change it so that it doesn't delete every message you've sent because it's fucking stupid. Streamlabs is annoying like that.
It times them out for 1 second.
I said it like that.
Oh, I was gonna say, I was like, wow, what a punishment.
No, I can change that, but know,
Okay.
in instances like this where it's an accident or they didn't know,
Yeah.
like I don't want to punish someone with a 10-minute timeout because they posted a link when they didn't realize they shouldn't.
I do that all the time. I always hit the period button.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, it happens. I'm not gonna be a dick about it, but Streamlabs is a dick about it, so I apologize for that. But yeah, I mean, as far as like, what do we do with China? Like, I mean, there should have been sanctions against them. We already have a bunch, right? Like Lauren said, we're already in the middle of a trade war and imposing tariffs and stuff. How much worse do you want it to be? And if you talk to economists, they'll tell you that it's a dangerous game, right? Like
slippery slope.
There was concern that when Trump first started doing these trade wars and tariffs and stuff, that it would cause an increase in prices here locally. And so if you go too far, you can really hurt foreign relations. It's not a good thing. Should there have been, I don't want to say a consequence, but there should have been some action taken by China to prevent these things in the future, like some of their exotic meat markets and stuff like that. Like, I don't think those, are great anyway. But if that's part of someone's culture, how do you tell them you're not allowed to have this anymore? Maybe you change. You have to change something about it, but I don't think you can. What if a deadly virus got out from the U.S. and say it killed 1 million people worldwide? Yeah, I mean, again, you would have to look back at the cause and say, okay, whatever causes you shouldn't be doing anymore. But imagine if every country who was affected was like, we're going to impose tariffs. Like, that would be fucking brutal. The Wuhan market was created by the poor because the government wouldn't help them. That sounds about right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know that for a fact, but it seems like something that would happen. Why do people eat crazy food? Because it's the food that's available to them, right? Like, and if you do it long enough, it becomes culture, it becomes tradition, it becomes what you eat. You learn to make dishes and whatever around what you have. Otherwise, you starve. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a reason why people eat the things they do. So, but again, if you impose sanctions on China, or you impose higher tariffs on China to the point where we're not going to import goods, or we're going to raise taxes on anything that we send them, or charge them higher fees for exports, who's going to suffer?
Probably those very people who were built Wuhan market, right? Because they were desperate.
Yeah.
If that's if that's what the market originated for.
Even if it didn't originate from there, who's going to get hurt? It's going to be the people on the bottom of the totem pole.
Yeah.
It's going to be people like us, except in China, who are 10 times worse off than us. Yeah. When they have a cup of rice or a bowl of rice to eat for the day. Like, that's their meal, is a bowl of rice.
Right.
Like
I think it would really suck if, like, think how hard the U.S. is being hit right now with the virus. And then, like you said, if every country then imposed sanctions against us, like, our economy is already being crippled, that would really suck.
Yeah, I mean,
there definitely have to be conversations that have to be had. Like, how can we not have this happen again?
Absolutely.
What are the protocols to take? But sanctions, I don't know.
Didn't the virus get out from a Wuhan lab, or did it come from the eating of bats? I have seen zero evidence that it has come from a virus, from a lab. A lot of people were speculating that, and it was kind of unfounded. And there was actually a large backlash from the scientific and medical community saying, like, you can't just attack labs because it's convenient, right? Yeah, sure, there might have been a lab nearby Wuhan that has coronaviruses, but you yourself have been infected with coronaviruses before in the past, and it's called a common cold. 20 to 30. Yeah, 20 to 30% of all common colds are coronaviruses. Like, that's what the root cause of them is, infection with a coronavirus. To say that, like, they were genetically engineering, no, there's no evidence to suggest it. We know the genetic sequence of the coronavirus, of COVID-19. We know it. And there's no evidence to suggest that it was bioengineered or mutated or whatever.
And they're not so sure that it was bats either. Some suggest it may have been from something called a pangolin.
There's so much.
I don't know if we know the answer for sure.
Some people will say it's bats. Some people will say it's pangolins. Some people will say that.
Pangolins. I can never say that.
I don't know if we have definitively the answer. We may or we may have a good idea, but I don't know.
But then there's also an issue with minks.
Yeah, there's
right now.
The Netherlands is culling.
Yeah.
It's
like
whatever
17 million
whatever South Park
minks.
told you. Yeah, I mean, look, South Park is South Park. That's like getting all your news from The Simpsons, which honestly isn't terrible.
They've been pretty on about a lot of things through the years.
They've been on
weirdly.
for the future.
Yeah.
You don't want to get your news currently from them, but like 5 years down the line, it might actually be true.
Like they were like smartwatches and FaceTime before it was a thing.
Well, I mean,
like a lot of stuff.
No, in all fairness, though, how many cartoons had like those super advanced watches where you'd like be talking to someone or whatever? Like,
I understand. Didn't they also do something? Predict something with like had something about the World Trade Center?
That I don't know. What I do know is they
so
posted, they talked about Trump being president, and like there was even a scene of him going down an escalator in a mall waving, and then like that happened. Like,
I mean, that's not too far fetched.
Well,
anyone can go down an escalator and wave.
I know, but like just oh wait, I'll fucking pull it up for you. I'll pull it up for you. Trump Simpsons escalator. I don't even know how to spell escalator.
I love that when you like don't know how to spell a word.
Okay.
You have to spell.
This was the fucking like. Come on.
Actually, it does look pretty identical.
I'm gonna share this screen.
Post this in Discord. Oh, you're gonna share your screen?
Yeah, I can add this. It's gonna change everything though. So
just post it in Discord.
Yeah, Laura will post it in Discord if you want to. If you want to see, and she got the link to Discord. Holy fuck, she is on a roll. Oh my god.
I have to post it? Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, because I can't be typing because it's going to shake up the camera.
Okay.
So it is, I mean, it's incredibly accurate. Like, it's not just, Trump went down an escalator and then in The Simpsons, he went down, like, this is really, like, even the same color tie.
Even the same people in the background.
I mean, more or less. More or less. The only thing they don't have is Melania. Like, that's the only thing they don't have. And if they did, imagine if they did have Melania, though, that would be fucking wild.
I'm thinking I'm going to post it in randomness.
Yeah, sure.
Let's see.
Post it in randomness. That sounds good. I'm not slacking. Lauren's just doing well, which is surprising to everyone. Lauren is my mod, and she is...
I'm a terrible mod. I know that for sure.
Hey, Lauren, quick question. Let's test your knowledge. Let's give you a quiz. Somebody post a link, and you want them to post that link. You give them permission. How do you, say?
Exclamation point permission link?
Almost.
It's just because I saw you do it just before.
And you still didn't get it.
I know. Exclamation point permit and at the person.
Yes. Who's winning the Floyd Mayweather fight? So Logan Paul, is that even his name? Logan Paul.
Or there's two of them. There's brothers.
Right. There's Logan Paul, or is it Paul? It's not Paul Logan. That sounds wrong.
Is there a Paul and a Logan?
No, I don't think so. I think it has to be Logan Paul, right?
Let's see. I'm gonna look it up.
Lauren's gonna look it up. Okay.
He's fighting YouTuber Logan Paul.
Okay, so I was right.
But there is a brother. Logan Paul has a brother that's also a YouTuber, and I get them confused all the time.
And so does everyone else. Mayweather is going to destroy him. Mayweather, yeah, probably, right? Like, Mayweather has how many years of experience compared to Logan Paul's 2? Jake Paul is the guy who filmed like the haunted forest in Japan, no? Like the dead body.
Do you think I remember which one did it?
One of the Pauls did it.
Police.
But yeah, one of the Pauls did it.
Yeah, Mayweather's gonna destroy him. Like,
yeah,
I actually think it's kind of dangerous to let them do that.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I doubt Mayweather's going to go 100%
I don't know.
because you like kill the guy.
I don't know. He hit his wife pretty hard.
Oy.
So
Yeah,
he'll hit Logan Paul pretty good.
possibly.
Here's the thing, though. Logan Paul is trying to fight Conor. What are you going to fight him in? You're going to fight him in boxing or you're going to fight him in MMA? Because
MMA will be over in 3 seconds.
MMA should not be allowed to happen. Logan Paul, I know he's done some grappling and stuff, but he's just too inexperienced. It's just, I'm sorry. And I would love to see it. I would love to see it, but I don't think it's in the best interest of him for his personal health and safety. Conor McGregor is an incredible MMA fighter, and I'm sure he's a pretty good boxer, but he's not. Logan Paul does not stand a chance in the octagon.
Oh, yeah. 100% will embarrass him to no end. But Jake Paul or whichever Paul is doing this is not doing it because he thinks he's going to win.
No, he's doing
doing
it for
the
money.
payout is tremendous. When Conor McGregor and Mayweather boxed, the loser, McGregor, got $100 million as the loser. Right? And the winner, I think Mayweather got $300 million. Like, I'd go against Conor McGregor, like, choke me out in 3 seconds. Well, I don't care. 3 seconds, we'll both become multimillionaires. I would do that.
I would absolutely fight Conor McGregor for $1 million. Yeah, for sure. I don't like. Yeah,
I'd probably let him like choke me out for like 1,000. I mean, I was like, it'll be really quick.
It's just like, what kind of weird service is this? Like, punch to the face, 5,000. Choke out, 1,000. Armbar, 750. Like, what kind of weird fight prostitution thing you going on?
MMA prostitution. That's basically what this is.
It's. I mean, it's fun to watch someone get humiliated. Don't get me wrong, but
I agree. I don't think it's as fun.
I don't. If you know it's not a competition, like what's the? I mean, there is novelty. Like everybody knew Conor McGregor was going to lose against Floyd Mayweather. Like that wasn't a debate for most people.
Right. It wasn't McGregor's wheelhouse. They weren't doing MMA.
If you put him in the octagon, McGregor's going to fucking annihilate him. But they weren't in the octagon. They were in the ring. And so, you go where someone's advantages are. Like that's like for me, I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. My striking, my stand-up is fine. Right, I'm not.
Yeah, like if you put me and Nick in the ring, I'd destroy him.
Yeah.
But if you put me and Nick in the octagon, he'd probably beat me.
Probably, it'd be close. I'd be fucking barely skinning, like getting by the skin of my teeth. Which I hate that phrase. You don't have skin on your teeth. Like, oh come on. Yeah, it's ridiculous. So, what did we learn today? Lauren can kick my ass, I guess, unless I get to grapple.
Wait, we have it on video. Remember? For 10 minutes, we grappled in the old apartment.
Yeah, we have.
On stream.
It was our post-affiliate stream when we streamed for 12 hours. And for 10 minutes of the 12 hours, Lauren had to grapple with me.
And I remember Spencer specifically being in chat. I don't remember who else was in there.
I remember Spencer being there because he had some questions about jiu-jitsu and he was like interested in it.
We took a clip of it and made it part of our trailer, actually.
Yeah, Lauren.
Fun days.
She's scrappy. She's scrappy. I'll give her that. But she doesn't have the fucking.
I don't have the training.
You don't have the training. Even if you did have the training, let's be real, you don't got the strength to back it up against me.
Come on.
That's everybody's sad.
Is there even muscle there? I mean, like, what is this?
Somewhere, I'm sure.
It's really sad. Now everybody's bummed out.
Way to ruin the mood.
Yeah, I could barely get Nick makes me practice putting him in chokes, and I could barely get my arm around his neck and squeeze.
It is very true. Yeah.
But he also has an abnormally thick neck. I'm sorry.
It's not abnormally thick.
Okay, there was a man in the grocery store behind the seafood counter that called you out for having a thick neck, and he was like, "So how long you been fighting?"
Okay.
And he was able to tell you were a fighter by your neck. That's a thick neck.
Why you gotta fucking?
Right?
Why you gotta put me on
If someone
blast?
points you out from across the grocery store, like, "Hey, thick neck. How long have you been fighting for?"
Okay,
You got a thick neck.
It wasn't like that. I was at work, and during my lunch break, I went to the grocery store, so I didn't have to go after work because it's late. And I went to the fish counter, and I was getting whatever the hell I was getting. And while the guy was weighing out the fish that I ordered, he was just like, "So how long you been fighting for?" I was like, "What makes you think I'm a fighter?" He's like, "Come on, man. How long you been fighting?" I was like, "I don't. What do you like? What about me makes you think I fight?" He's like, "I could just tell. Like your neck." He's like, "You got that thick neck. I could just see it in your face." He's like, "You just call me ugly."
Looks like you've been hit in the face a few times.
Is your nose always that big, or is it just very swollen? And the answer is, it is always this big. But Lauren, Sass wants you to put your arm around my neck and try to squeeze.
I tell you, it can't be done.
Lauren can't do it. I've been choked out before. My jiu-jitsu instructor can annihilate me. But Lauren can't, and it'd be funny to watch her try.
I've tried really hard. I squeeze as hard as I can. And
do you want to try?
Happens. No,
I'll
I
sit
really
right here.
I hate the feel of it.
Wait, roll your arm. He's telling you to do this kind of motion to roll your arm up. Instead of trying to squeeze, use the blade of your forearm
to crush your trachea.
To go into trachea. Yeah, that's.
I'm not gonna do that to you.
I need
to.
That turns. So there's a rear naked choke, right, which is when a person's behind, and it's like a sleeper hold, is what people commonly call it or know it as. There are two types of rear naked chokes. Okay.
Is there the Brazilian?
There's the Brazilian.
And the Japanese.
And the Japanese, correct. The Brazilian requires you to squeeze because what happens is you are putting pressure on the carotid arteries. And you're using your bicep and your forearm to put pressure on both sides of the carotid arteries. You reduce blood flow to the brain, person passes out. That's the Brazilian style. The Japanese version of the rear naked choke is you use the small blade of the forearm. You use this radius. It's called a radius, this bone. And you use that to crush the trachea, right? Someone's windpipe. And I don't know why I got super Italian about it.
Hey, crush the windpipe.
And that is very painful. I've had it done. It sucks. It's not my go-to style of rear naked choke. And I don't teach it to people who aren't particularly trained. You have a black belt in Budokai, that's why you know it like that. Yes. How much grappling do they do in Budokai?
I don't know what that is.
It's just a type of martial art.
I'm gonna look it up.
Okay, you look that up. And I mean, I've been training jiu-jitsu. I've been training MMA for over 8 years, and my specialty is jiu-jitsu. So chokes, throws, joint locks, those are my favorite things and things I'm best at and most knowledgeable about. Not a lot. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so I personally don't teach beginners the Japanese version just because it's too easy to hurt someone. It's the same reason why you don't teach beginners heel hooks and other ankle locks and things that cause the knee to twist just because you're likely to hurt someone. Yeah, you can really
totally see that.
Yeah, you can, because you don't know. Like, I know how far I can stress a joint before it becomes a problem.
Right.
And I know how much pressure to put. I've felt it enough times. I've experienced it long enough where I just know. It's a feeling that you get. Like, if I keep going, they're gonna tap, or it's gonna hurt, or something's gonna happen. Lauren, for example, does not have that knowledge.
That's why I don't like doing moves on you.
I know, but you're doing it on me, and I have the experience, and you're doing a blood choke, and I can tap. I have the ability. I'm not gonna have you do a heel hook on me. I won't do that. That's too dangerous.
And I just don't like it. You're my husband.
Yeah, only by law.
Get an intruder in here, and I'll fucking heel hook the shit out of them.
No, you won't though. You won't heel hook an intruder.
All right, I'll choke the shit out of them.
No, you won't.
And that
Your job.
I wouldn't mind doing to an intruder, but I can't do that to you. Like,
your job is to get Jerry and you and yourself, you and Jerry, to safety, and you let me handle an intruder. That's your job.
Jerry.
You get 911 on the phone, you get Jerry out of there, and you get the first aid kit ready. My
job is to, when you're in a compromised position, come up behind them with a frying pan, like in every movie ever.
He's about to he's above me, he's about to stab me, and Lauren just
like
right
we should keep a cast iron skillet in the bedroom just for that.
You should keep it on your side of the bed just in case. Are you scared you're gonna hurt me? Are you scared, Lauren, that you will hurt me?
Yes, and for that reason, like, I don't know how hard you can squeeze and twist and do these things.
I will tap before it hurts.
I know, but
listen, Lauren, why? In every time we've ever done any training or any grappling session, have you ever hurt me?
Maybe if I accidentally poked you in the eye.
Yeah, something stupid when you you're acting like a spaz and you do some weird thing that is a fluke.
A lot of times I just end up hurting myself.
You that is much more likely.
I smack my hand into the door molding. Like, oh, dang it.
Should be squeezing and should be slip and hit her head.
More likely to hurt myself.
Yeah, I ain't getting hurt.
Nick wants to train me, but I'm like, I ain't got time for that shit. I'm trying to do a lot here.
I do want to train you desperately.
I am the spaz. I'm not a spaz. I am the spaz. I was an athletic kid, but...
Listen, there's a difference between athletic and graceful.
Yeah, I'm not graceful.
Athletic, very. Yeah, absolutely. No arguments here. Graceful? Someone with poise?
No. It's not me.
That's not you. I've seen you drop way too many things. I've seen you trip way too many times.
I picked up rugby in college just because you don't really have to be graceful. And in fact, if you bash into people, it's part of the game. So you don't have to worry about how it looks.
Being graceful is discouraged in rugby, from my understanding. But it's weird to me that Lauren's a small woman. She's 110 pounds, something like that. She's 5'4", 5'5", and she won't try to choke her significantly larger husband in a safe manner in which one of us is extremely trained in. But she will try to tackle a bunch of strangers who really don't want to be tackled with zero equipment.
And also trying to hurt her.
Yeah, it's come on, you played rugby and you won't even
I know, but you know what? My knees hate me for it now.
Okay, you know what? Everyone's knees hurt. Everyone's back hurts. You're welcome to 30. Get over it. Man. Yeah, nothing like getting your ass kicked every day. Yeah, I've been there. I never did, but I came close. I think if I really put effort into it, I think one time I probably could have submitted my jiu-jitsu instructor, and I was scared. I was scared too, if I'm being honest, because the ass whooping that would have followed would have been unlike anything I've ever experienced before. I mean, I remember I broke my collarbone and I missed a month's worth of jiu-jitsu, and my instructor was like, "Where you been?" And he's like, "Come on, you're gonna spar with me." And he beat the fuck out of me for missing a month class because I broke my collarbone that he broke. He broke it and forgot it happened, and just thought I was just being lazy and wanted to whip my ass for being lazy. And then I told him, I was like, "You did this." He's like, "I did?" Even to this day, I remind him all the time, and he never remembers he did it.
Oh my God. And then after he whooped your ass, you're like, "I was out from a broken collarbone."
Yeah, he did not apologize. It was really bad.
Wow. Well, remember the time? So Nick did kendo for a while, which is you go ahead, you explain what the heck it is.
Kendo is So the suffix "do" means like spirit of.
Spirit of the sword.
So it's Ken means sword, Do means spirit of. So it's a spirit of like sword fighting or swordsmanship. And so you wear this armor and you have bamboo swords and you train in kendo, and I absolutely love it. I love it.
But I remember one day Nick came home and I don't know who showed him this move, but again, Nick was new to the sport. He probably shouldn't have even been shown this move where you basically poke or stab someone with the edge of your bamboo stick in the throat
with the tip.
Then,
it's a thrusting motion to the person's neck.
And he fucking did it to someone, and his instructor saw him, and he was like, basically laughed. And then a more experienced person pulled him aside later and was like, "You can't do that."
Yeah, there is a piece of armor that covers the neck and kind of comes like out, like, and someone went to go for a high strike, and in that time I kind of just like quickly thrust it into their neck, and our Master Joe, my instructor, had a very good laugh about it. And then later someone afterwards was like, yeah, that's a more advanced technique, and I'm supposed to do that until black belt, which I had only been training for like a month, if even at that point. Or no, it had to have been a month, because the first like month or two you're not even allowed to spar. You don't even get to wear armor. You are literally just practicing forms, all the time. So I had to been at least 2 months in, and it's like one of my first real spars with someone, or like my second spar, and I just like did this complicated, slightly dangerous technique that I had seen, and he had a good laugh. And I did apologize to Master Joe after. I'm like, I'm really sorry, I didn't know that I couldn't do that. And he was like, he's like, just don't do it again. But he was like impressed that I managed to pull this move off. Oh, Sass with the tier. Oh, I gotta turn the alerts back on.
Yeah.
We're gonna get that going again. There we go. Let's fucking get that. Thank you so much, Sass, for the tier 1 donation. I super appreciate it. I'm all out of White Claw, but cheers, buddy. Thank you. It was like drops in there.
Oh no, sorry, I drank a little.
Did you?
You weren't looking.
Oh, what the hell?
What the hell?
What the hell is this? You know what I really want? I really want either Oreo cheesecake or ice cream. Can we get one of those?
Oh, thank you, Sass.
Sass, we love you too. Thank you.
Where would you like to get that?
Eggers. We got ice cream.
I don't even know what time they're open until.
Well, I'm fucking looking it up right now.
I thought it was grading after this.
No, we're getting ice cream after this.
All right, grading can take place tomorrow. There's always tomorrow, guys. We haven't even eaten dinner. It's 7:30 our time.
we haven't. They close at 9:30. We got time.
We got plenty of time.
Listen, even if you grade until we want to go to Junior's for cheesecake, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. But they're not very close.
Yeah, we have to either. I mean, you can get like.
We can get it at.
We can get it at the grocery store,
but
it's not the same. It's like the refrigerated / frozen cheesecakes and.
But they do have the little individual sizes. I would get those once in a while, and I think we should. We're not locked down until 10. Hey.
yeah, exactly. So.
Okay, I will go get ice cream if you watch an episode of Chernobyl with me.
Fuck. Fine. Deal. I'll make that deal. I'll make that deal any day.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. I'm not a big TV person.
Sass, where are you again? Do we have a curfew here? I don't think we do.
I know Sass is in New York. I know he's. I want to say Buffalo. Why is Buffalo? Used to bring a back upstate when you go to the city. You're in Albany. Albany, Buffalo. They're like the same, right? Like they're the same.
Did you go to Albany? I'm curious.
Or are you just a big Cuomo fan?
Yeah, he just wants to live as close to Cuomo as possible.
Cuomo and his daughter's boyfriend. Like I feel like that's all he can talk about.
Yeah.
Listen, it might be geographically opposite end of the state, but like fundamentally, fundamentally it's the same.
The only time I really went to Albany was to go to Albany for Kegs and Eggs.
What on earth is kegs and eggs?
Well, it's for St. Patrick's Day, duh.
That still doesn't answer my question.
It is like the biggest freaking St. Patty's Day celebration, and it starts if you get there at 3 a.m. You're late.
3 a.m. Wait, so like let's say St. Patrick's Day is on the 14th.
Yes.
It starts at 3 a.m. the 13th?
No, technically midnight would be the 14th.
I know. Oh, okay. I understand.
Yeah.
Kegs and eggs is epic.
Yes.
Where does the eggs come in? No, I still don't know what this is. Like, no one's explaining this.
Because it starts so early. It starts bright and early in the morning. It's kegs of beer and breakfast. The idea.
Ew.
But it just kept getting earlier and earlier and earlier until it was basically you were up for 24 hours pretty much.
So it would go from 3 a.m. on the 14th until like 3 a.m. the 15th.
Pretty much.
24. Okay.
Maybe you go home, take like a nap.
Oh, God, that's way too much drinking. Like, it makes me upset to think about it.
Yeah,
like,
you just don't stop. But a couple of years ago,
yeah, beer. I can't even drink soda before noon. You think I'm gonna be fucking playing beer pong at 6 a.m.?
Really hard for me. I think I went my sophomore year of college, and I was like in my prime sophomore year, and I struggled.
I can't do it. I never could. I was never a big drinker.
A couple of years after, they like really, like the town and the cops started like really coming down on it and were like shutting it down. I remember seeing videos of people like throwing beer cans like and shit from like the roofs, and some girl like running around the streets with a metal pasta strainer on her head as a helmet.
as an outfit.
As a helmet because of all the beer cans raining down.
I thought you said she was wearing it as an outfit. I'm like, this bitch is running around with just a metal like pasta strainer and nothing else.
I mean, that's probably also happened.
No, I can fucking guarantee it. Listen, I don't know why I never trained my body to drink a lot. Like I can have like 3 or 4 White Claws and I'm like, all right.
My type of girl.
You don't have to say just kidding. We know it's true. It's fine.
Although I guess a strainer would make a pretty decent like last second helmet because they have the holes. You could tie like string through the holes for a chin strap too, and
it also has the handles.
Yeah, the handles.
Yeah,
it's pretty legit.
It's a good battering ram.
Yeah.
Although you would definitely need to put some type of foam,
like cushion in your hand.
Yeah, for sure. Otherwise, you're gonna be hitting your skull on metal constantly, and that's not fun.
No.
Yeah.
So inventive, man. College is the days like you really like problem solve and you just like use what you have around you. Need a helmet? Pasta strainer. Done.
She talks like she's done it before. She probably, honestly, probably.
We have like rigged so many things and done so many weird things in college with what you have that it's just like you just know it. You know that life.
My college experience was a little different. I spent a year up in Boston. And
with a bunch of nerds.
I went to pharmacy school when I was there. Yeah, everyone was a fucking nerd. It was
I went to
different.
Binghamton, where it's like you're smart enough, but like you still partied.
Yeah, we didn't have parties at my school. We had to go down the block to Northeastern, which is a large university, and just like hang out at Northeastern campus. And like play wiffle ball and just kind of hope some bro would come up to us and want to like join, and they'd be like, "Oh, where are you guys partying tonight?" And they'd be like, "Oh, we're gonna party in whatever building they said." And I'm like, "Oh, like that's like that one, right?" And like that's the science building. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, we're new here. We all just transferred. Your family farm is just outside of Binghamton."
Ooh,
nice.
What part? I wonder if it's like. Remember, there's like Johnson City. There's.
You don't have to try to impress people with your knowledge of the surrounding area of Binghamton. We believe you went there.
Vestal, good old Vestal Parkway.
Okay.
So Harpersville. Cool. So weird side note. My old gynecologist also.
You're making me smash shit. You can't. Okay, you gotta prepare me for that kind of thing. You can't just be like. Side note, we're talking about, whatever the fuck.
Let me say, my old gynecologist went to Binghamton as well. So when he found that I went to Binghamton, that is
exams were on the house.
That's all he had to know here. So every exam after that, he'd be like, doing his exam, and he'd be like,
Why?
"So,
Wait, no, stop.
how's
Stop.
Vestal
This
Parkway?"
is awful. You're acting as if he's like fucking spelunking. Like he's going through the Amazon. Like oh, where I gotta trying to find a lion in its natural habitat. Like, bitch, he ain't swimming. What's happening? Like, are you even going to real doctors, or are you going to like Dr. Pepper?
It's that too. Why is he swimming in that? No, but Joe, he would
God.
always use that as like talking, and I'd just be like, I prefer if we didn't talk, actually.
Yeah, I can see how that'd be really uncomfortable. Like,
Oh, how's Vestal Parkway? Like, the same.
that's
Thank
like,
you.
dude, you are looking right up. Like, you can see my heart beating. Like, can we not maybe do this?
Yeah.
That's the worst. That's the worst. I had a friend who, I don't know if she would want me to tell this story, so I won't say names or places or anything. But she was in medical school, and this was not in the U.S. That's all I'll say. She went to medical school and she was sick, and I think it was like, I don't know if it was a gynecologist or just like an internal medicine.
I remember this story.
And he would make her go onto the table, but also like get completely naked, and which for a gynecologist isn't always out of the ordinary. Sometimes you do, depending on the exam you're getting. But like, he was also her professor. Like, he was teaching her, and she just like went to him, I guess, with like some small problem or something, and he's like, "Oh yeah, just come to my office and then like also get naked." And it was like, and she did, because she, like, in her mind, like at whatever younger age, she's like, he's a doctor, like this isn't weird, like it's fine, I guess.
And then, wait, wasn't there a doctor on Scrubs that always made you take your pants down?
Yes,
And he's
yeah.
like, but
No.
my head hurts. Or like, you need to look at your tongue, like your tonsils. Like, so take your pants off.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it looks like an ear infection. Why don't you go in my office and take your pants off? Like, that's exactly what happened in
Was
Scrubs.
it that? Okay, something similar happened to me.
That's how certain videos start. Yeah, all that was missing was like a black leather couch.
No, when I was living in Westchester, and I had to go to a urgent care for a weird, like, looked like a rash on my finger, but it was like also incredibly painful. I will tell you what it was after the fact. I thought, I was a zookeeper at the time, I thought I had MRSA, which is a really strong staph infection. Not something you want to know you have, right? So I was suspecting MRSA. So what should have happened was like a culture or something should have been taken of my finger, and they should have tested for MRSA. What actually happened was he took one look at it and he was like, "Oh, that's definitely MRSA." I was like, "How do you know?" He goes, "I've seen enough MRSA in my day. So you need an antibiotic shot, but you need like a strong one, and I need to give it to you in your butt, so I need you to take your pants off." So I just like kind of like peel my pants off to get like a shot in my butt. And guess what it turned out to be? Freaking frostbite. Okay, I had to go to my primary care because it wasn't getting better, and it was effing frostbite on my hand.
Also, like, there are other places that you can get. I mean, listen, some vaccines need to be given intramuscular, some need to be given in like a fatty area, but like this doesn't have to be the ass, like almost exclusively. Like, I don't
This guy was
know.
exclusive ass. He was like ass or nothing.
His license plate was ass, man.
His ass or bust.
Which, I mean, I guess works for this dude.
But I should have been suspicious because like he was also working with like his arm in a sling, and I'm like, what happened to you? Like, you're not being taken care of well.
That's not fair. I've gone to work like when I broke my collarbone. I was in environmental sciences. I'm not. Like,
yeah, but it was like impeding on him being able to give me my shot and do his job well too. And I was like, shouldn't also when you're doing that and you're requesting someone of the opposite sex to have to derobe,
there should be
somebody else
chaperone
in the room.
Yeah, I
which
listen,
there wasn't.
I'm not saying he did things the proper way. I'm not saying that he's a good doctor. Obviously, he misdiagnosed you. I'm just saying the fact that he, had a sling doesn't mean like.
Yeah, but again, it was impeding on his ability to give me the
sure.
shot.
There should have been a secondary physician, a nurse practitioner, or even just an RN, someone who's allowed to give. I shouldn't say just an RN, but even an RN, someone who's there who's allowed to give the injection. Yes, I agree. You are right, as always.
As always, I'm right.
What flavor ice cream are you going to get? This is all I thought
Probably
about.
butter pecan.
Butter, what? What is, okay.
I'm sorry, but if you don't like butter pecan, you're an asshole.
Well, you know what they say, you are what you eat, right?
No, not happening.
Well, okay, you're missing out. Mint chocolate chip. Right?
No.
Yeah, mint chip with hot
Why
fudge
would
and crunchies.
Ugh. I mean, crunchies, yes. Crunchies are great. But mint chocolate chip, no.
Mint chocolate, or you can do it with caramel. Mint chip and caramels. Don't sleep on it. But yeah, mint chip, hot fudge, crunchies, and the tiniest bit of whipped cream is the way to go.
Now I'm like,
Or you can do Oreos if they don't have crunchies.
cookies and cream, butter pecan, or pistachio.
God,
Like
cookies
I like
and
nuts.
cream is so fucking pedestrian.
Oh, so pedestrian.
And yes, and I was so upset about it, I had to say pedestrian.
It's
and
because it's freaking delicious.
And butter pecan, no one even likes that.
Except for my grandma.
Yeah, exactly. You want to have a fucking hard toffee while you're at it? Do you want to know what time Murder, She Wrote is on?
You got any of those mints in your pockets?
Yeah, that's like, come on. Fucking.
No, butter pecan is good. That's why it's still a flavor that's always sold.
It's not, though.
And offered.
Yeah, it's before 5 p.m. and then it's like it's
early bird special.
That's it. No one gets it. If you're watching the stream, please enlighten me. Do you like butter pecan flavored ice cream? I can guarantee you don't.
I can guarantee you do. And if you don't know, you're missing out.
No, that's the thing. You aren't. Because if you get butter pecan ice cream, that means you're getting a flavor of ice cream that is so inferior to every other flavor. Like, why would you choose it? You're wasting your money, and honestly, you're sullying the name of ice cream. Like, let's be honest.
I happen to think. You think it's gross?
Yeah, and who does enjoy it? His grandpa. What does that say about you?
Grandpa knows what's up.
No, his grandpa is old.
Oh my God! Random story. One of my good friends from Ohio, love her to death. She was telling me that one time her grandpa, he has, oh my God, what do you call it? Like earplugs or like a hearing aid.
Okay.
And he was in his 90s, man. So God bless him. But he thought he was putting his hearing aid in, but his daughter noticed that like he wasn't hearing her. She's just like, Dad, what the heck is going on? She looked. He had a jelly bean in his ear. No, he thought it was his hearing aid, but he accidentally put a jelly bean in his ear. Oh, that's so wholesome. I love it.
That's like cute, but also a little sad.
That's he was in his 90s. I mean,
yeah, no. What do you expect? That's
90,
like from
man. What the heck?
From Scrubs when Turk is seeing patients in the clinic and he's like, "Sir, this is why your headache's not going away." That's pronounced analgesic, not analgesic. The pills go in your mouth.
No. I love that scene.
Which, don't get me wrong, there are suppositories. It's just like they'll say suppository, and they usually come in like a silver film. Like,
hey,
Aspie, how you doing? How you doing? I was gonna do something in like a deep announcer voice, like Sunday. What's the Monster Truck Rally thing? If you miss this, you better be dead or in jail. And if you're in jail, break out. It's one of my favorite things to do is like the movie announcer voice. Coming this summer, he sold tortillas on the corner, but the mob wanted in. I don't know who he is, but I want him and his tortillas dead. This summer, Arnold Schwarzenegger is Little Tortilla Boy. It's like just chilling. Yeah, we're doing the same thing. We're just chilling.
I love that voice. You really should. What happened with the voiceover work you've been doing?
It is so hard to get voiceover work. If you've never done voiceover work, I'm trying. I still
Nick
am.
Started doing a project, and then
ooh.
What?
I don't. Oh, Aspie with the host. Thank you very much.
Oh, nice. Mine is much more delayed than yours. I noticed.
Well, because this is real time, but the feed is a few seconds delayed. Right, so right. I see everything in real time.
Gotcha,
so suck it.
Shit, what was I just saying?
Announcer voice. I started doing a project.
Right, you started doing a project. I felt so bad. Read like definitely over 100 pages of this thing, and then they got an email saying like, we're no longer doing the project because some sort of fraud with the publisher or some shit. Like,
yeah,
what?
so I was hired to do a book narration, and the people who hired me, you know, I was reading, God, I don't know, a lot, hours a day sometimes, and you know, you have to edit it and whatever. Okay, so I was doing the work, and then I get an email from Amazon, like it's called ACX. It's like their Amazon's platform for submitting any type of book narrations and stuff like that. So I got an email from Amazon being like, this project has been terminated for fraud. And I emailed them back. I just want to make sure that it's fraud on the publisher, like on the rights holder, not me. Like
yeah.
I didn't do anything. And they're like, no, it's the rights holder. So like they either didn't have the rights to publish the book, or they were doing some other shit. And I'm like, fuck, I put in hours on this thing, and obviously I get no money.
That sucks.
Yeah, it was.
What's the deal with Amazon always sending us like terrible emails?
Yeah, last year Amazon ruined Christmas. They sent me they sent me emails about the gifts that Lauren bought me. Like, I don't even know how they knew it was for me.
I get called Amazon and I was like, what the hell? And I was on the phone with this woman for a while from Amazon, and she was like, I just don't know what happened. It's like, that's really weird, and we're going to refund you for it. I'm so sorry. I'm like, you ruined Christmas.
Yeah, they sent me, Lauren ordered a jiu-jitsu gi for Christmas for me. And I don't know how Amazon knew it was for me. But yeah, like they be tracking all our shit for sure.
It was very weird. And I was like,
very
I'm
weird.
very weirded out by this whole thing.
Yeah, but you know, it is what it is. Oh, Aspie, don't apologize. You know, take care of whatever you gotta do. Hopefully it's nothing serious, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for stopping in, even if it was just briefly.
Yes, and don't worry, we're gonna go get ice cream in a little bit too. So.
Yeah, we're gonna be heading off soon anyway. All right.
Butter pecan.
No, if you get butter pecan, I'm gonna be so fucking mad.
Why? It's not like I'm having you eat it.
It doesn't matter.
You don't even want to be in the presence of someone eating butter pecan?
I'm gonna be. Oh, T let it. Wait. God. T let it. Oh, why can't say words?
I don't know.
T letty. Oh man, I feel like such
Words
an asshole.
Are hard. Well, welcome.
But welcome everybody. Thank you so much for the raid. It is super appreciated. I'm Nick.
This is Lauren.
Oh, you don't do it like that. You could have just said your fucking name. But thank you so much for the raid. I really appreciate it.
Here.
Yeah, let's get on a little fucking hype. What do we got? T, where you coming from? Tell us what I assume you were in talk show or podcast. What were you guys streaming about? We were finishing up our weekly podcast episode. We were talking about chemtrails, and coming from your team room in Las Vegas. Cool. Oh, so you're all the way out in Vegas. That's exciting. We're out in boring New York City.
I've never been to Vegas, and I would like to go.
I've never been to Vegas either. It's hard for me because I don't like to fly. I'm a big, how do you call it? Pussy? I think that's the word.
Stop. I hate that word.
Okay,
also, Nick wants to go to Japan.
I do want to go to Japan, though.
But he can't even fly to Vegas.
Yeah, it's
quite the conundrum.
it's a problem. But I figure if you just like set me up with an IV of Xanax or something, it'll be fine. Like, you do a weekly podcast called Dignified Hospitality Manifesto, talking about what the industry could do to bring more dignity to farmers, supply chain, restaurant, and consumers.
Whoa.
Cool. Oh,
write that down.
That sounds real awesome. Oh, that's cool.
I dig it. I'm into it. So dignified. Oh, that wasn't a pun. I didn't mean to say I dig it because it's dignified.
Actually, I didn't even pick up the pun at first until you had said the no pun intended, which honestly would have been pretty good. It would have been a pretty good pun.
Cool. I'll have to check it out. Yeah, our science podcast. We were just talking about chemtrails today. We like to debunk science myths and misconceptions we typically find online or that my uncle has. So he's a great source of it.
Everybody has the uncle who has a bunch of conspiracy theories and whatever, and so that's what we do.
Yeah,
we research the topic. I am trying to explain what we do as I hit my.
I'm sorry. We're also married, so
you should be sorry. I think for the rest of the episode we should just whisper. No, we definitely shouldn't do that because I would get. There's one Christmas song. What is it called?
Last Christmas.
Last Christmas, where like in the middle it's like Merry Christmas, and that's like
it really irks Nick.
It irks me, but it's funny at the same time. I'm not a big. Okay, I'll just say it. I'm not a big.
I love to ban them.
I'm not a big Christmas music person, so there, I said it. You guys can come at me now.
Terrible.
Lauren loves Christmas music.
Yeah. So anyway, with the podcast, he has definitely been a source of a couple of episodes for us, and some of my cousins who have listened in the past were like, "Hey, was that about Uncle so and so?" And I'm like,
"Yes,
it was."
Yes, it was. I say yes if he's my uncle too, and he's not, because that would make this weird.
Well, he's now uncle-in-law.
Yeah, I guess.
There you go. It's official. We got the marriage certificate in the mail not long ago.
Yeah.
Can we still annul this thing or what?
Snake Eye DIY and Tef Bano, how you guys doing? You have to ban that uncle. I mean, there's still. You're suddenly unsure if you need a ban since I don't like. Oh, listen.
I am a moderator. I could potentially do it.
You can't ban me because we're streaming on my channel. You want to start your own fucking channel? Yeah, you can do whatever you want. You can ban me. Go ahead, start your own Twitch thing.
I'm just gonna go downstairs and turn off the router.
Oh, that would be mean.
But I agree. Hating Christmas music is
It's not that I hate Christmas music. Okay.
Really seems like you do, though.
Okay. I'm trying to explain it. The reason I don't like Christmas music is because it's the same 7 songs for 2 months every single year for the past 30 years I've been alive. There's seldom any new Christmas songs. Am I wrong?
All right, the Kelly Clarkson Christmas song is pretty decent.
Yeah, no, I love that one. It's great. I'll even take the Ariana Grande Christmas song. Not all of them. There's just one that is pretty good. But you need to get some fresh songs in the rotation. Otherwise, it becomes the same Jingle Bell Rocks, Last Christmas, All I Want for Christmas, and whatever other 2 or 3 songs that people put in the rotation. And it's like, I can't handle that.
I love it because I know every single word.
But that's the problem. You know every single song to such a mind-numbing degree that it's like it's not exciting anymore.
Anyway, hey Bobby.
What up, Bobby? How you doing?
I hope you like Christmas music because that is what we are arguing right now.
We were having wait, Nick. Then are you bad searching for songs if you can only find 7 different ones? Yes. Yeah,
I agree. There are
listen, there are obviously tons and tons, but at the same time, when you put on the radio or when you put on a Spotify list of Christmas songs,
Christmas classics, it's the same ones.
It's the same ones.
But I love them. I freaking love them.
Lauren, what is up? And Bobby Grimes getting home from the big 24-hour shift. That's a long day.
Bobby. To relax and take a load off from that shit, go listen to some Christmas music. You know what I'm saying? You deserve it because it's the best. After the stream,
it's not the best. The best music is Slipknot. I said it. The best music is Slipknot. I'm a big metal fan. I love. And then I also, no, you're right. The best music is not Slipknot. The best music is Taylor Swift.
Okay, to be honest, if you look at Nick's recently and frequently played on Spotify, there's a lot of Weird Al Yankovic on there too, and it drives me nuts.
I fucking love Weird Al. How do you not like Weird Al?
It's okay once in a while, it's funny, but you listen to it,
yeah, I listen
it's on
to
your
it.
heavy rotation.
I don't.
This is what I'm dealing with, guys.
Yes, the same ones. That's why you happen to be EU human. If you get tired of Danish song, you turn on the German one. Get tired, you go on the Greek. See, that's the thing.
More, yeah.
You got the rotation going.
We only got those American ones over and over.
We got the same 7. I can guarantee you, the same 7 ones appear on every single holiday radio station, Spotify list, Pandora, whatever you want to listen to. I will bet money.
Anything you want to bet.
Bet whatever you want to bet. Bobby, just relaxing and listening and watching you guys. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. I don't know how you're still awake after 24 hours. That's impressive. Weird Al is great.
Yeah.
I can listen to those songs all the time. In fact, when we go to get ice cream, guess what we're listening to?
Then I'm getting butter pecan.
Okay.
See how upset he gets?
Butter pecan's not a good flavor.
Okay, it's Weird Al or butter pecan. Your choice.
No, you can get the butter pecan because it doesn't hurt me physically. It hurts me emotionally, but it doesn't hurt me physically. So, like, I'll deal with it, I guess. I don't have to taste it. I just have to witness the war crimes that you're about to commit. Butter pecan's not that good. I'm sorry.
It's whatever. I think it's great. So, been eating it since I was a little kid.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Now I'm gonna have to do this.
What? Are you gonna ban me?
No, I'm not gonna ban you.
Are you gonna make a poll? Yes. Okay. See, Tef knows. Said I could say why you married her. She's great. Great, because like you like butter pecan too, or like what do you think? Yeah, Nick's gonna be in trouble if he doesn't knock this butter pecan crusade off. But I keep losing my train of thought here because we keep coming back to this damn ice cream.
Okay.
Okay. Poll's open.
The question is butter pecan good?
Some great wording.
And you can vote yes.
Oh, see, I knew. I didn't even have to see. I knew Lauren was going to vote yes because
you two are mentally the same person.
We are on the same wavelength. It's just the name.
Wow, there are far more yeses than I anticipated. I'm glad I rigged this vote.
What do you mean you rigged it?
You'll see when I close the poll. We'll just get her time her out. I'm gonna close this poll in just a second.
Well, Tef, it is a buttery goodness.
We'll give it 10 more
ice
seconds.
cream with pecans in it. So if you like pecans or nuts, I suggest trying it. It's delicious.
But putting nuts in dessert ruins the dessert. If I want nuts, I'll just eat a fistful of nuts, which also
because like sweet nuts with sugar is delicious.
No, it's not.
It's like that's almost like that salty sweet. I love salty sweet.
Then just put sea salt on it. Why you gotta add the nuts? Why you gotta add the nuts?
I'll add the nuts and then put salt on top of the nuts.
Okay. We're gonna close. We're gonna give it just another few more seconds. Is butter pecan good? Exclamation point yes. Exclamation point no. Nurse Mandy hand the yes.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna close this poll, and joke's on you guys.
Why?
Thank you so much for the follow, Nurse Mandy.
Yes. Nurse Mandy.
We love nurses, and there we go. Can you guys see the results? Hell no was the most voted option of the poll with 80%. Wow.
What kind of election is this? This is rigged.
Man, 80% said hell no. Butter pecan is not good. Wow.
Rigged. Oh yeah, and Tef brings up a good point. Chocolate technically comes from a nut, right? A cacao nut.
Okay, that's like
or is it a bean technically?
It's a bean, and also that's like saying heroin is a plant, is an herb. Come on.
I know.
Like that doesn't track.
I know we're reaching, but doesn't make it any less delicious.
Yeah, sure. You process the hell out of something, and yeah, it's great. Yeah, I'm not gonna argue with you.
Well, just let me be with my nuts.
You're fired. Yeah, and obviously 80% voted yes, which is fucking 80% more than I expected.
80% too many.
Lauren told a story about her gynecologist before. It was weird for everyone. But Mandy, Nurse Mandy, thank you very much for the follow on the host. We appreciate it. I am all out of White Claw. Otherwise, I'd be, cheersing and stuff. See,
struggling here.
My preferred flavor of ice cream is, and I feel like because everybody here likes buttered pecan, no one's gonna be like, oh yeah, this is a good flavor. Is mint chip. Mint chip is the best flavor because it's refreshing. There's chocolatey. It's creamy and smooth. Like it's the best.
Listen, I like peppermint patties. I like junior mints, but I just think there's so many better ice cream flavors. Why waste your time on mint chip?
Butter pecan's a better ice cream flavor? Bullshit. Bullshit.
Also, Lauren's got a pretty good idea.
We
should get a mini fridge in here.
Can we? Okay. I'm trying to. I'm fired for being just bad. I'm just for being bad.
Yeah, it's good, but not the best. No mini fridge. Ma, get the White Claw now.
Whose mom am I calling to? My mom's not here. My mom don't live here.
Yeah, but what was that?
It was
Mom,
Wedding
Meatloaf.
Crashers.
Yeah.
Ma,
Chaz.
the meatloaf. Fuck.
Sorry, White Claws, get on it.
Okay, so the consensus here is that the mint chip is pretty good, and that I am fired and I'm bad and I should feel bad, and that we need a mini fridge full of White Claws, and I'm with two out of those three. Actually, I guess 3 out of the 4 because I am bad. I do agree with that. Coffee ice cream and licorice ice cream.
Licorice. My grandma used to say licorice, and it used to drive me up a wall.
White Claw is bad? What the Okay. Wait. Hold up. What are you doing to me? White Claw's my fucking shit. I know hot girl summer is over. I don't care. I'm still drinking White Claw well into the new year. I don't give a fuck. You try some cappuccino ice cream, though.
There's a lot of opinions being thrown around, and I'm overwhelmed right now. Coffee ice cream, not my thing. Licorice, I would try, but I can't see it being a top choice. Also, White Claw is pretty lit, so.
I love White Claw. I don't like anything coffee flavored. I'm watching my girlish figure, please. I eat like a trash person.
In fact, before Nick walked upstairs, I was still downstairs, and I heard the cracking open of the cookie container, and I basically yelled upstairs. I'm like, "Are you opening the cookies?" And he was like, "No."
Yeah, I have a
closed them.
Massive sweet tooth. It's like a huge problem for me and my clothes mostly. Like that medieval torture device where they put you like on the rack and they just like slowly expand you? That's what I'm doing to my clothes every time I put them on.
No, you're not.
They're just slowly being tortured.
Man, what a funny image, though. Oh my god!
If my shirts could scream, oh boy! I'm glad they're not sentient.
No,
but I truly don't like anything coffee flavored.
Nick doesn't even drink coffee.
I don't drink coffee.
Weird.
I don't drink energy drinks. I don't drink tea. I barely drink soda. Maybe once a month I'll have like a a Mountain Dew or something, because Mountain Dew is radioactive horse piss and it's delicious.
I tried it once and I was like, let me just see what this is about. Gross, man. I cannot do it.
Cereal.
It tastes like acid.
Lauren, how do you feel about this? Cereal is soup.
I mean, it's like a gazpacho cold soup. I don't hate the idea. It kind of is.
The thing that I think separates a soup and cereal, and for the most part I agree, it's just contents floating in liquid, which is what soup is.
It's never been cooked.
It's not that it hasn't been cooked, right? Because you can make the argument that like the cereal or whatever has to be processed or cooked or whatever, and it's like baked or whatever. Okay, fine. I don't care about that. It's that the cereal doesn't marinate in the broth, right? It doesn't marinate in the milk. And if you
just get soggy.
Yeah, I mean it's not even like it's soggy. It's just no one does that. So if you had a cereal where you just like, in order for the cereal to taste like the cereal, it needs to be incorporated into the milk, like for a long period of time, then I would agree.
Wait, hang on. I got a couple ideas floating around in my head.
Is oatmeal soup? See, oatmeal, I think if you...
Well, some people have it really thick. And it's not very soupish.
Yeah, it's not, and that's like that's closer to what is it, like a gumbo, like a nice thick gumbo.
Like porridge or something.
If you sent coffee beers, would I try them?
Nick
No,
also doesn't drink beer.
I don't drink beer either.
So that's a double negative.
Yeah.
That's a double no.
But a double negative is a positive. Damn it, that means I have to drink it.
Damn it. Right.
Oatmeal is porridge, yeah.
Here it is. Quick question about cereal. Do you guys pour the cereal in first, then the milk? Or do you pour the milk first and then the cereal?
No one pours the milk and then the cereal.
I know people who do milk first. So that the cereal doesn't get soggy.
That beard, and I don't drink beer. It's a sin.
What a sin.
It's this. I mean, my beard is thick.
Lumberjack beard.
The only time it's acceptable, and I don't give a fuck what anyone here says, the only time it's acceptable to pour your cereal into your milk is if you've already finished a bowl of cereal and you have leftover milk and you're just putting more cereal in because you're eating more cereal. That's it. You can't start a fresh bowl of cereal with milk and then add your cereal. Nick, you need to drink beers. I have tried so many beers and I just don't like them. When I was in college, I got really sick from beer. And since there's a few people, I'll tell the story. It was my freshman year of college, and I went to a school in Boston, and we're in New York City, so I went away. And a friend of mine was pledging for a fraternity, and I wasn't, but he's like, Nick, there's a party, and I can't go by myself. You got to come with me. So I was like, fine, I'll go with you. It was a Friday night, and I didn't really eat much. I had like some janky
perfect recipe for a night of drinking.
I had a janky sandwich that was like there was one sandwich sitting in the dining hall refrigerator, like in those like open refrigerators, you know what I'm talking about, like the cold. There's just one sitting in the refrigerator, and I was like, oh, I gotta eat something, so I grabbed it, and it was like some weird cold cut sandwich. So now we go to the party, and he's like, I'm gonna. I know a few people there, so I'm like, go talk to your potential fraternity brothers, and I'll go hang out with some other people, do your thing. So we're playing beer pong. It's fine. We get there probably like 9:30, 10 o'clock, which is a little early, but whatever. And so we're playing beer pong. Then I start, play a couple of games of flip cup, whatever, just typical college stuff. And then I see a group of guys sitting around the table, and there's just like one glass, and I'll lower the camera so you guys can like see what I'm talking about.
See what a glass looks like?
No, shut up. There's one central glass. We have an actual glass. There's one glass, and what happens is everybody sits around the table. Someone has a pair of dice, and they have to roll the dice. If they roll a 7, an 11, or doubles, they pick one person at the table to drink as much beer as they fill up into this cup. Here's where things get fucked. The second the person goes to grab the glass and drink, the person who rolled the dice can keep rolling. So if they roll a 7, 11, or a double, before you finish your glass and put it down, you gotta drink again, as much as they tell you. And
well, obviously a very quick way to get really fucked up.
And me, being the freshman at the table full of upperclassmen, mostly sophomores and juniors, guess who they had do all of their drinking? And
sounds like a solid plan.
It was a terrible plan. I mean, it was terrible for me. It was hysterical for them. And so I drank way too much beer in way too short a period of time because you're chugging.
Horrible.
And
how did you even get home that night?
I walked. We had to walk home. And it wasn't a very far walk. It was maybe like a 10-minute walk.
Good
but
Lord.
It was like, now by this point, it's like 1 in the morning, 1:30 in the morning, something like that. And
exploding lettuce indeed.
Exploding lettuce indeed. And we're about to leave. My friend's like getting ready to wrap up, and I see some other poor freshman getting tormented in the same manner by the same group of guys playing the same game.
Oh.
And I decided to save him. So I grabbed his beer and I chugged it and I put it down and I let him catch his breath for a second. And
how noble of you.
well, no, it was I regret it to this day because I went to my friend. I was like, I'm gonna leave now because I'm gonna throw up. And we stepped out the door. I didn't want to do it directly in front of the house because I didn't want them to be like, like, look at this loser, like, throwing up right in front of our house. So I managed to get.
I would have done it. I'd be like, fuck you guys, make me drink so much beer.
I did get
blasted their door with like projectile vomit.
I did get to the corner before I fucking lost it, and this was a Friday night. I did not stop throwing up until Saturday morning, and I was sick in bed until Sunday afternoon.
Oh.
It was so bad.
Nick doesn't get sick often, and like even like catching colds and stuff. But when he gets sick, he gets very sick. Like food poisoning. He was in bed for like 2 days, like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
he was like very sick.
I got the flu last year, and
that was a good 5 days.
I was sick for 5. I mean, it's common with the flu, but like my job wouldn't let me go back to work. I missed like 7 or 8 days of work to the point where if I missed one more day, they would have made me use like Cobra, like supplemental insurance and stuff.
Very dramatic. I've been there many times myself. Whatever. I still drink everything for the most part. So basically, when we go to a bar and Nick orders a cocktail and I order a beer, they usually give it to the wrong person. They usually give him the beer, and we're like, nope.
It was over the summer, and not this past summer, last summer, and we went to a beach in South Jersey. So super hot day. We're like, you know what? It's the afternoon. And let's get some fucking drinks, right? I happen to like fruity, sweet drinks. Fucking sue me.
Nick is comfortable in his sexuality. He don't care.
I love Taylor Swift. I love daiquiris and stuff. Like, I don't give a shit. I've been training MMA for 8 years. I have zero issues.
I will choke a bitch for laughing at me for drinking a daiquiri.
So we go to the counter. We go to the whatever tiki bar counter, and Lauren orders both of our drinks. She orders a Appletini. I'm like one step away from being JD. Lauren orders a hard seltzer and a strawberry daiquiri. And so she looks at Lauren and says, "Do you want a floater in your daiquiri?" Which, if you're not familiar, it's like an extra shot in your drink. And she's like, "I don't know. Ask him." And she looked at me and laughed when she realized that the daiquiri was for me.
Yeah, I guess you don't see that too often.
Yeah, so she laughed and she did apologize, and I did get that floater.
Did you get it for free though? I don't remember.
No, I did not get it for free.
You should have. Her literally laughing in your face.
Yeah, no, it was not very nice.
It was like straight, like just reaction, like knee-jerk reaction.
People go on vacation. They go on cruises. They go to Mexico, wherever, and like it's totally fine to get a daiquiri. But if I go to a local beachside bar and I get a daiquiri, now I'm a fucking loser. Like that's horse shit. I don't have to just be on vacation to enjoy a nice cold refreshing beverage.
We don't make the rules, baby.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And I do not consider liking Taylor Swift to be sinking low. I've been listening to Taylor Swift for years. I love Taylor Swift. I have gone out of my way to purchase albums, not even just stream them, buy them to support.
One of our last albums, Nick went and bought, and we went to play it in his car, and then we realized his car didn't have a CD player.
Yeah, new cars don't come with CD players by default.
Where does this go? What the
Luckily, I didn't open it, so I was able to return it, and I did buy the digital copy. But yeah, man, it was fucking... I felt like a real dunce, let me tell you.
Yeah, but I didn't realize it either till that second, too. And I was like, holy shit, we don't have a CD player.
Yeah, neither of our cars have CD players.
Yeah.
Like, they just don't come with them anymore.
We used to feel like a boss as a kid when you had, like, a car with, like, 8, like
the 6 CD player?
6 CD player track, and you, like, switch 6 CDs in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, I didn't have that. My car had my first car had the auxiliary plug. I think it was like right when they were first coming out, and then we also had FM transmitters, which if you don't know what that is, you would find it's something you would plug into like the charger on your phone, or like the I guess now phones like iPhones don't have the head jack plug, but you used to plug this thing into the head jacks. Or the input, you would find a dead station on the radio and then match the station on the like on the little device that you plugged into your phone, and it would connect through FM like sound waves, and you'd be able to listen to whatever you were playing on your phone on your car radio. And in theory it worked, and it was fine. Sometimes you'd be driving and like static out and whatever, and if you drove too far you might have to find a new dead channel. But
yeah, the things we had to do.
Yeah.
Kids these days will never know.
It's
the trouble we went to listen to music.
fucking cassette tapes and shit.
Oh my God. I used to literally have the radio in my room. I used to sit listening for the radio for hours, waiting for the songs I wanted, and then record it on my blank cassette tapes. And I'd make my own cassette tapes.
Or remember when you had to like find a song on the radio and tell everybody, like, everybody shut up, I gotta record this, make it my ringtone.
Yeah.
There's always like one person like randomly coughing in your ringtone. Like, fuck. It was so good. Why'd you have to mess it up, Dave? Now we can't be friends.
Burning CDs.
Yeah.
Downloading LimeWire and slowly killing your computer.
Oh God, LimeWire.
Yeah.
I sometimes I forget about LimeWire and the terrible things it did to your computer. You guys just make me
things.
feeling old, like some boomer. I know. I feel the same way sometimes. Like, fuck. Like,
well, especially I'm a teacher. I have high school kids. So they're like 15, 16. And man, sometimes we're not that old. We're 30.
I stay on TikTok just to feel young.
And sometimes they make me feel old. I'm like, oh, what are you guys doing? What is this?
Yeah. But it's scary because when we're 60, 70, what's the technology going to be like? Are we going to be able to keep up? Like,
I know. I used to love when we were able to walk around the classroom and I'd see kids like messaging on Snapchat. I'm like, get off Snapchat. Yep. Yeah, I know what that is. You do it because your messages disappear. I know all about it. I'm hip. I know.
Anybody who says hip, I promise, is not hip. That includes my mom, who is convinced hip is still like cool. It's not.
Stop trying to make hip a thing, Linda.
Yeah. I mean, she would be cooler if she said fetch. Like, if she was trying to make...
Fetch.
Yeah, I'm hip to the jive. Yeah, like, fucking, like, this isn't... Nobody... Stop. It's...
My Aunt Mildred says that all the time.
It's hip to be a square. Yeah, because squares have sharp edges, and if you don't like someone, you can fuck them up with it. That's how
we're definitely nerds, and I don't care.
That's how it works, right? Like... Squares are cool, or squares are dangerous. Squares aren't cool. They're fucking dangerous. They're edgy. Get it? They got edges. 90-degree edges. That's a math joke.
Please.
No? Okay.
Please stop.
I will see myself out.
Hip to the jive. I haven't heard that in a while, but I used to hear it a lot from my aunt. Oh my God.
It's never a good thing. Triangles are sharper. Yeah, they have higher... they have more acute angles, so they can, higher pressure, good for puncturing.
You know what? Maybe that's a cool way to teach about angles and geometry. Like, which one of these weapons do you think?
Shanking people?
Which one of these weapons do you think would do more damage, or create a deeper wound? I don't know. Just change it up a little. I taught geometry for like a semester.
Don't teach geometry if you're gonna be like, hey, for all you potential psychopaths out there, and no, I'm not looking at the camera. I'm
gangbanger.
I'm looking at you because you need to hear this.
No, listen. As a teacher, you're always like, some things catch your ears, like ways to teach, different ways to catch kids' attention to teach it.
And giving them ideas on the best way to murder someone isn't it.
How best to shank somebody. As your learning target for the day.
Do you need to make your own shank? Do you know what the proper angle is to do so for your blade? Like, what?
Prison Techniques 101.
I mean, yeah, Sass is right. You can hurt anyone with anything. But
hence why we're going to keep a cast iron skillet in the bedroom.
But at the same time, some things are a lot easier to hurt people with, right?
Learning target. What is the shankiest shape?
That should be like your objective for the day. Like, I don't know. When we were in school, it was called a do now. But now they're not called do nows. Now they're called something else. What are they called?
You're talking about learning aims? Like an aim or a learning target?
I guess. What do they call do nows?
Instead of do now, sometimes you say write this, but it's WRITE or right now, because you have to write something now.
That tilted square from the parallel square, like the rhombus.
Oh yeah, rhombus.
I assume that's what you're talking about. But yeah, it's fucking.
I have angles on the brain because I've been teaching the students about the seasons.
And
we
she
have to talk about
has
sun
planet
angles.
Yeah, okay.
And it's hard. Angles are not easy for them.
I hurt their feelings. It takes longer. Listen, physical scars they heal, but emotional ones they last forever. You'll always remember that thing that someone said to you. That cut you got, you'll probably forget about it.
I do have days where like I just like replay all like the fucked up shit like or embarrassing things that happened to me, and I get embarrassed all over again.
That happens to everyone.
God.
Like right as they're trying to go to sleep.
Yeah.
You're like you lay down, you close your eyes after fucking.
Why did I say that in middle school? Oh, what an idiot!
That's nothing new. There's been so many memes and shit about that. We don't.
Yeah.
Come up with original shit, Lauren.
The one where you're like me rethinking how I said here in class for attendance. Fucking hated that. Like, damn, that was too loud. Wasn't believable.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it. Fuck. Oh, are there any other? So the ice cream parlor. I don't know why I said that. It's not an ice cream parlor. It's not an ice cream parlor. What is it? I guess it's just the store.
It's
right?
the closest to an ice cream parlor. We have the stools and stuff you could sit on. I'm sure you can't sit on them now. You can't.
There wasn't like an old school creamery by us that recently closed, which was very unfortunate. But the ice cream store, which sounds weird, closes at 9:30. So we're probably gonna wrap this up in about 15 minutes.
Because Nick is not gonna fucking miss
I'm not
his
missing this ice cream. There's no chance I'm not gonna get ice cream tonight. I've already put it in my head that I'm getting ice cream.
Yeah, and for payment, if we get ice cream, then we watch an episode of Chernobyl.
They spell it shop when the European Old English shop, so it's ice creamier. I agree. That does make it like more legitimate.
I feel like I've seen people use that spelling of shop here for like
vitamin shop.
For something like with like nostalgic.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah.
But I would call this place a parlor. It has like an old school vibe to it. Yes, and Chernobyl was dope. And Nick like won't let me just freaking sit there and watch all the episodes nonstop. Yeah, not the actual event. Yo, Chernobyl was dope.
I don't think you needed to clarify.
We understood you meant the show.
I don't think anyone's gonna be like, I think she really likes fucking massive radioactive meltdowns. Like the show, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to sit there and like watch all 5 episodes at once, but Nick does not like to.
I'm not a big TV person. I can sit and fucking play like Pokemon card games or Destiny for hours.
4 freaking hours.
Oh, it was a couple of Saturdays ago.
14.
I was playing for 14 hours straight, and then took a couple hours.
Yeah, I don't even think
sleep.
you like drank water. You're like, I'm very dehydrated.
Yeah, no, it was.
I don't feel good. I need to go to bed early.
I did say all that, except that it didn't sound like such an idiot when I said it.
Well, you did from my point of view. So I was like, this is from a fucking video game.
Okay, that's all unnecessary jabs at me.
Is it though?
Yeah, it is, I think.
Anyway, over Christmas break, I have plans to find a show and do a little binging. Okay. That's my like mental cool down. I love me some trash TV, and I love a good drama like that.
When you get into it, you lose track of time, like a good TV show. Yeah, or video game. Yeah, 36-hour stream last year for Destiny. Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. Radioactive Meltdown, the thing we get in liquid form, or wait. The thing we get in liquid form on can or historical event?
Well, the Chernobyl event.
Yeah.
Right. But then there's also the show.
There's the show Chernobyl on HBO. And that's what Lauren wants to watch.
It's so good. I do wonder how accurate it is. I love getting lost in a good story.
I can't imagine.
Love movies, shows.
Is there a can?
Yeah, I know, I was thinking that too. I was like, is he talking about Mountain Dew? Maybe.
Yeah, Mountain Dew is radioactive.
Is this another Mountain Dew reference?
So it is not. So it is not Red Bull. We talk. No.
Right. Red Bull is also probably very similar.
Oh, radioactive. Like the thing we get in liquid form in a can.
Gotcha.
Got it. Now I understand.
Monster, Red Bull.
Yeah.
Every drink that Kyle ever drinks.
Every Kyle drink is Chernobyl in a can. That's actually how it was founded. But I'm in the process of reading The Witcher. I just bought book 2. I'm about 60 pages from finishing book 1, so I was hoping to finish that today, but I guess I'll finish it tomorrow. And it is really good. I've had some good laughs, which when you think Witcher, you don't think funny, but it is funny. And so Lauren and I, we recently found out there was a comic book store not too far from us, and neither of us are really into comics, but it's cool to support local businesses. And there's really only like 2 comic book stores where we live, so it is kind of cool to check out some unique stores that there's not many of. And I went to the guy and said, hey, I'm reading The Witcher. I want to try to find something like it, but that isn't mainstream. And the guy gave me, like, the first thing he said was Conan the Barbarian. I'm like, all right, that's, like, pretty well known. It might not be mainstream, but it's, like, it's been going on for fucking ever.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Conan the Barbarian. And I get it. Witcher was inspired a lot by Conan and stuff. Okay, fine. And then we were talking more. He's like, oh, you could do like Hellboy. I'm like, dude, I said not like, I want something a little more indie. Like,
so then he obviously
so I said,
went
all right.
even worse.
So I said, all right, I'm also into like samurai shit, right? And he's like, oh, well, there was a whole segment of Wolverine in Japan fighting samurais and ninjas. I'm like, Wolverine is the most fucking mainstream thing known to man.
So pedestrian.
He did also offer something about Spider-Man. I'm like, dude,
like could not get worse than Spider-Man. I think that is the ultimate.
Do you
like mainstream?
Like, do you know what indie means? Like, do I gotta? Like, I get it. Fine. Most of the people that come into the store are probably looking for the really popular stuff: Spider-Man, Wolverine, Batman, whatever.
Nick did leave that store pretty upset by the whole interaction.
But like, if someone's gonna come up to you and be like, "Hey, I'm looking for something indie, not mainstream," you're gonna suggest Wolverine? Really?
Nah, man. Here's some Spider-Man. That shit is
fine.
So indie.
I understand that, you know, the mainstream popular, you know, cultural aspects might be who your clients are or who frequent the store. Fine. But if you don't know, don't just say anything. You'd be like, you know, I'm not really sure. If you give me 5 minutes to look something up, you know, I'd be happy to do it. Or even hell, you know, I really don't know. Sorry. Like, oh yeah, sure, no problem.
I give the guy credit for trying.
No,
I say he was like making it worse as he was going on.
I don't give you credit for doing like the exact opposite of what I asked for.
You should have stopped at Conan and be like, well, it's only going to get more mainstream than here.
It really did only get much more mainstream.
So if that's not what you want.
Like, I really think he lost sight of the question. Like, he was just
Do you
naming
need me
shit.
To restate my question for you? Or?
Yeah. I don't know.
Right,
it was tough. It did really upset me. Also because there's a really good bakery next door, or like 2 doors down, that sells incredible cakes. And Lauren did not let me stop and get one.
Well, here we are about to get ice cream.
So I was pretty upset about that. I think
we do have to walk Jerry.
We have to walk Jerry.
Yes.
I did forget about walking him.
Don't forget about Jerry.
Can't forget about Jerry. Jerry's our dog. He's adorable, and he's
my pride and joy. And there he is in chat.
If you join us on our Saturday stream, you'll get to see him. We put him in costumes and we feed him and all that kind of stuff. We have a bunch of different chat point rewards that you can redeem for things like I don't even know anymore. What do we got that you can redeem for points?
Nobody redeemed them now because he's like 2 floors away.
Yeah, he's 2 floors away. I turned him off.
Okay,
you can redeem like push-ups. You can redeem picking a dish, something you want me to make. We read off text from last night. We read off would you rathers. You can make us dab. I'm gonna put in a tongue twister thing.
If you want to see pictures of Jerry, though, you can go to our Discord.
Yes.
Nuts.
Nuts.
And we have a pet section where people just post pictures of their pets and stuff. And Jerry makes frequent appearances.
I do the push-ups. Not her.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Guys, you'd get not even a full push-up out of me. Sorry. We went over this. I don't have much muscles.
I should make it a thing where if somebody either donates 100 bits or more, or if they, or maybe I won't even make them donate. I'll just put in a command when someone says "oh nuts." I just have to stop what I'm doing and just go nut. But
Please don't do that.
I don't think anybody actually wants that.
Nobody wants that. Actually, everyone just left chat. So everyone's gone.
But I know Lauren's gonna hit us with the nuts, the "oh nuts" again. And whenever I see someone type in !nuts,
Oof,
I'm gonna scream "nut" in a high pitched falsetto.
Okay, Lauren, please never say that again, so he doesn't do that.
So.
Well, anyway, we have a lot of new people in stream. So
yes.
Again, if you guys don't know us or haven't seen any of our stuff, we do have a science comedy podcast where we debunk a lot of myths and misconceptions. Stop doing that. I hate it.
Well, Tef put it in chat. I had to.
Tef,
I'm bound by the laws of streamer-viewer relationship. I can't change it.
I'm gonna cut the Wi-Fi in a second. We also are active on every.
General Hobnob came in with the nuts.
Oh God.
How you doing, General? Hope you're doing well.
What are you doing? What are you doing to me?
Fucking salute the General.
Snake Eye knots doesn't count. So. You know what? No.
Knots get you a nuts. You get something totally different. It's no one. Oh, nuts with a Z doesn't count though.
I've never seen that spelling of Lauren. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, nuts. Mutts.
If you type mutts, Lauren does have the bark.
Anyway, guys, we are very active on social.
Butts? Oh,
butts!
Shit. You want to see some fucking butts? I'll show you some fucking butts.
I will yell butts. Oh my God, if this whole desk collapses. Great, now Nick's twerking on our desk and shaking everything known to man. Oh my God. Stop shaking everything. My mom's gonna think there's an earthquake. It's still going on my computer because of the lag. Oh my God. You think he'd be better at that by now?
I'll show you some fucking butts. You won't like it. It won't be good, but I'll fucking show it.
Anyway, guys, check us out on social. Check out our podcast. Comes out weekly.
New episode
join
tomorrow.
Our Discord.
We have a new episode tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern talking about chemtrails. And we post some cool science stuff on social media, particularly on Instagram. We're really active on Twitter. So if you want to, chat with us afterwards, then, follow us on Twitter. We have our Discord. And if you feel extra generous and you want to support us, we do have a Patreon. You get a bunch of cool stuff if you are a Patreon supporter. So, definitely check it out if you are interested. Ooh, Ted wants the love.
No, okay. I think we were literally in the middle of the screen and you couldn't see it. But now you guys will just have to imagine what that
Sass is heading out. Thank you so much for hanging in there, Sass. I do appreciate it. You are the best. You don't know if you're appalled or intrigued, and I'm going to go with intrigued. I'm going to say
you're probably appalled.
I'm going to say your pants are probably a little too tight at the moment. You got just a little tighter.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so that is going to do it for us today. Do we got anything else? I think we're done. I think so too, guys. Have a great night. Yeah, thank you all so much. I appreciate it. I don't know if she's almost done. Kitchen
Who's
Witch.
on? Oh, Kitchen. Oh,
But
Kitchen's on.
I want to go raid a good friend of ours, Kitchen Witch. So let's go do that. She's a great vegan streamer, food and drink streamer. We normally do food and drink streams and Pokemon streams, all kind of stuff, but we're trying to get into the habit of streaming our podcasts weekly. So,
Ice cream.
and then we're gonna go get ice cream. So let's go raid Kitchen Witch. Let's go send some fucking hype her way.
Yay, Kitchen.
Yeah, she's like I said, a great vegan food and drink streamer. Hopefully she's not wrapping up too soon. But thank you all so much for hanging in there. I really appreciate it. Taff with the follow.
Woo-hoo,
Thank you. It is
thank you.
very kind of you. Let's go bring this energy and like this weird, honestly kind of sexual energy that I made. Let's go bring it to Kitchen Witch. Thanks guys, and we'll see you next time.